in the hood.
No pictures, no videos, nothing.
To be in that form, when somebody feels like you care about them, you took that moment, they will never forget that in their entire life. Ever.
Would it good be? Hoping it's what it should be. This is your boy N-O-R-E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Drink Champs Yappy Hour. Make some noise! These brothers that I'm about to introduce changed the world. It made us proud to support our own. Before this time, I didn't know of any brothers from the hood owning a clothing company and it being the shit. They are still here and they still friends to this day. I thought the money would have brought them up a long time ago. They still here, they legends, and we are giving them their motherfucking flowers today. In case you don't know who we talking about, we're talking about for us, by us, motherfucking Yeah. When I named this, I tried to not name Queens because I can't call y'all, like, even though y'all from Queens, the brand is too big to just it be called Queens. And I'm from Queens. Trust me, I want to claim everything in Queens. I even claim City Field sometimes. You know what I mean? So, for the people that don't know, right? Me and you was talking earlier, and you said that you started from selling shirts and hats. Is this how this started, FUBU?
Yeah, man. Standing on the corner selling tie top hats. At that time, De La Soul had made a video, and they were wearing these tie top hats. I think we got inspired from 5-5 Soul, right?
5-5 Soul.
Yeah, and they were like, and they were like these. It's like a sleeve instead of having a ball on the top. It was a little
Like
string.
the skull cat, like the scully ones, the ones that hung back.
Exactly.
Right.
And we would make a couple. We would sell. Actually, before that, before we had the FUBU name on it. We were selling super soakers, and we were selling.
Super soakers.
I wasn't ready for that.
We were selling them at the Greek picnic.
What department of FUBU was this?
You know what it is? The reality of it is we were businessmen. So we were selling whatever we thought would turn a buck. So we was coming super soakers when them things were hot. Daymond had a van. We'd fill it up with all kind of merchandise and go to the Greek Fest, all those things, and set up shop and just sell whatever was hot.
That's dope.
So that's how we started being in business without the fashion part of it.
And how did y'all come together? Like, was it through the gear? Or y'all knew each other?
I mean, they were selling super soakers.
Right.
I moved from Baisley Projects to Farmers Boulevard in Queens.
Wow.
I'm at
5 years old.
4 or 5 years old.
Get the
I was
fuck outta
peeking
here.
through the fence, and that's what this dude with no teeth. I'm like, man, I want to play with you.
That was it.
We met Keith.
Yeah, I didn't meet y'all till high school. You know,
Keith came into school. You came in class, and you had a car accident or something. And he had a big bandage around here with mad blood on it. And
Really?
No, a little bit of blood on it. But mad blood to me because I don't like seeing blood.
Right.
I remember the teacher said something to him, and he was like, "La la la," and ran out. I was like, "Yo, that's an ignorant." I said, "I want to mess with that."
I was angry man back then. I
want to mess with dude. And then Jay, our partner, we met. He lived 2 blocks away, so we met him around when we was probably
In high school.
about 11 or 12. Yeah.
So
Childhood friends.
one thing that's very unique. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't stay together for 2 weeks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And especially business. How do y'all maintain friendship but still have business?
Well, the
By the way, I was
friendship.
in this interview as a guest because I'm so close to it, and I do so many interviews that I didn't say the normal shit all the time.
Yeah.
Keith, he liked to smoke the devil's lettuce. And I never understood how
Well,
he
it's
has.
God's letters, not devils.
Well, I mean,
Tell him, Norman.
you know, you got a farm sitting right there, but he has the best memory of anybody I know in there. So my partner, I'm gonna be sitting here like, oh, yo, word.
Look. So, because you know, like, I know I'm a little bit over there. Like, a lot of times when I look at me and Capone's relationship, I kind of wish we never did business. Like, I kind of wish we was just friends. Like now that we don't do business, we're back like real friends. But it did affect us. You know what I'm saying? Because we couldn't hang out to a certain extent. We were business partners. So if he, like, I always say this. I say my relationship with Pone made my relationship with EFN illa, because I used to try to change Capone. I wanted Capone to be on time.
Yeah.
And he never complied. But when I let that go, I was like, all right, cool, I'll let him be him. So that's like with E. I learned that through Capone. I don't try to change EFN at all.
Yeah.
This guy won't buy nothing. This guy got all his money.
Right.
He ain't pay for shit.
Obviously.
He don't pay for shit.
I don't buy the same shit you buy.
I be wanting to, but I just like let it be. Is that something you guys relate to?
Absolutely.
You think? I mean,
Yeah.
for us, I mean, we grew up as friends. We was friends. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We did everything. We was going on tour.
Right.
You know, we backstage with backstage passes on 13, 14 years old. So for us, we were cool. Like,
Right.
so when we got into business, it didn't change it for us because we were already cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we did everything together. And we also went out and took that friendship from a friendship to a business and keep it the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We was able to stay the same.
You guys had a
It wasn't-
foundation. a
Yeah, it
solid
wasn't
foundation.
like everybody he start tripping, I check him, I start tripping, he check me.
We got
like,
in the fights.
It was like,
Oh, yeah,
you
I
know
know
what I'm
that.
saying?
I
Like,
can see it.
it wasn't like just everything was rosy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my thing is like how like so many people let the money change them. Soon as like, especially childhood friends, especially people you met in high school, and soon as that money get involved, somebody's big-headed, the other one is not big-headed enough. So how did y'all maintain like we ain't letting this business fuck with us?
I'm gonna let them speak on that. I gotta say though that there's two things that are different than us and most people. If you were a rap group or a music group or you with various other things, you can potentially have people pull you away to break off to do your own thing. FUBU is way bigger than us, and anything that he does negative or I do negative and break off, FUBU is gonna exist.
Right.
It ain't gonna be Daymond.
Right.
Right? Daymond can't, I mean, could have probably, no, I think we even had contracts within ourselves. You can't break off and do another brand. So anything that I do, or if he asses out and I make him look bad, it makes the brand that I'm getting paid off of and he's getting paid off look bad. So we couldn't do that because we also had hundreds of people working for us. So we had to save each other's ass too sometimes when we didn't want to save each other's asses.
Right.
like just even keeping our nose clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't never heard of no shit come down the pipeline like these dudes involved in this or that. Because we had to keep the
We
image
had a whole
and
house.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Also, one other thing.
Did you just say y'all had a contract within y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a non-compete?
Yo, that is
Yeah,
genius.
I mean, we
Why
can't-
can't tell the world about that? That is genius. I have never heard of that.
Yeah, neither did
It was
they.
That's the motherfucker.
It was Damon's out there, goddamn.
You know what the reality is? FUBU was
And is.
it was something that we wanted to protect. So we were
Right.
willing to do and put our egos aside
Right.
to do what's best for the brand
Right.
at all times.
And to keep it 100, there's times where we didn't either make money from the brand, we had to put money back in. Somebody said, I told you that was a bad decision and now I got to pay for it, where we were really mad at each other or mad at the overall outcome.
Right.
That anger could have taken years.
Right.
Like, we could have sold the brand years ago when everybody said, yo, keep it real, don't sell it. It was those same people that stopped buying it. And we had a massive offer on the table from Kmart, I think it was, at that time. And we would hood dudes too and be like, oh, come on, Kmart. But they were like, how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars are you talking?
I would have sold out.
I'm about to fight. I'm about to fight one of y'all when we get outside of here. After, I remember, but so, and then one last thing is that I remember, unlike your business, you got to work with this artist. You got to go on tour with this artist. You got to do this and that. When we were coming up, our friends are the ones they wrote Belly about and various other things. When we were coming up and we were doing clothing, hip hop very homophobic.
Right.
And prior to us coming up, of course, Carl Kanai, Cross Colors. Prior to that, the idea of a clothing designer was some flamboyant person in Europe. So when we were being almost harassed by some of our friends, like, yo, what's y'all doing that clothing? Y'all all right?
Right.
And so we came up by ourselves because nobody wanted to talk to us. Imagine you out there, one of our boys is moving kilos, the DMX of Belly.
Right.
And we up there talking about, yo, I'm about to go make a strawberry pattern, son. You gotta see this hoodie is gonna make.
Right.
We came up realizing nobody wanted to mess with us for a while until they started hearing we doing $350 million a year. So that was some of the things.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, Nori, you know what I'm saying? You from left, right? You know, we come up the same way.
Yes.
So we all had our different stories.
Right.
I mean, like for me, I know that I found them because I knew that Daymond, especially at that age, he had some unique qualities about him that the other cats didn't have.
Right.
Like when I would say I'm broke, that means I ain't have shit.
Right.
Daymond said he was broke. He probably had $500 or $600 stashed. You know what I'm saying? So that was a quality that I liked about him. I said, I'm fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Keep the same way. There's certain qualities I loved about my partners, and I say, you know what? If whether we selling clothes or selling fucking bananas, we gonna make some money together.
Right.
And that was my.
What was the quality you liked about Keith?
I hated Keith at the first. I hated him.
Yeah,
Yo, I hate him.
Yo, it's a real backyard movie shit right here. The story movie
trying to play me. But yo, word up.
I didn't even know him, and he was hating on
My girl,
me.
like, yo.
So then I met him through him. This dude, he's sitting in the car looking at me sideways. I'm asking Daymond, I'm like, yo, what's up with your man? Like, why you always looking at me crazy? So one day Daymond's like, yo, we gonna go pick up cars. I said, man, fuck Carl, man. He always over there bugging, man. So he says, he tells me the story why he was looking at me. It was over some girl, his man, also crazy.
No, I'm in motherfucking Springfield Garden.
Okay.
My girl at the time was like, yo, this dude fucking with me, man.
Right.
So I said, yo, what the fuck? Let's go see who this dude is. I go with my man. We go out, there's a block party, yada, yada. And I see this motherfucker, he looked like a stone cold, like, he got this look on his face, even at that age, to scare the shit out of you.
Right.
So I told my girl, like, yo, you know, maybe... What did you do? What did you say there? I'm making excuse me. Like, he looking at me like screw face. But that's when we didn't do nothing that night.
Right.
The next time I saw him, this motherfucker introducing me to
I ain't gonna be too many more motherfuckers in the goddamn champ,
I'm
man.
like, yo, this dude really?
Right.
But after I got
Tell
to
you
know
looking
him,
at me sideways, man.
he became my man.
1, 2, 3.
My man.
I tell you what I love about him. I was home one day, minding my business. Shirts. Crazy Sam from Video Music Box pop up.
Yeah.
Old Dirty Bastard walking into my house. I don't know OD, but I know the Wu-Tang.
Oh shit.
Right.
I'm like, yo.
Wait, time out. Did you just say ODB walked in your house?
Walked in my house.
Hold on, you're going too fast. Wait a minute. Start over. So what?
This is
Old Dirty Bastard just
This
walked
is
in
like
your crib?
1991 or something like that, and I think we took out a little ad in the Right On magazine. We put the name
Right On.
in there, and we got mostly the orders were from Japan and Seattle, Washington. It wasn't black people initially.
Fax machine.
Right. We got a fax machine. Somehow, Old Dirty Bastard. I guess he wanted a bit of music box. Because we stalked.
Oh, was he Old Dirty Bastard?
He was Old Dirty
But it's
Bastard.
super early in Wu-Tang.
Super early.
Because that day,
Yo, and because we stalked Ralph McDaniels to help us with the stuff, and Ralph, being that I think so many artists owe their career to him.
Yes.
Crazy Sam basically wants some free shit.
Right.
Coming out, Old Dirty Bastard come out. I'm like, yo, this is Old Dirty Bastard. This is, first of all, I'm a fan. Second of all, I'm hiding whatever kind of something I have worth anything. My transistor radio, because Old Dirty Bastard in the house. But when Keith was the kind of partner, though, that we were all different. I had my kind of conservative way of trying to come up with this idea. Carl was always like or anybody's voice of reason. My partner Jay, who's still with us. Keith would be the one who'd be like, oh, is that right?
Right.
He'd go to the studio for 3 nights and be like this in the studio. Yo, what up? Oh, all the ghetto hood dudes.
Right.
They love Keith.
They love Keith. They thought they were hood. I remember one time Redman was like, yo, Keith, I wore the same pair of pants the FUBU ones, the same 17 days straight.
Yeah, that story was crazy.
And Keith is the hood dude.
He's
They be like, yo, they were like, I don't know about that dude Daymond. He kind of funny. He kind of quiet. I don't know about him. I fucks with Keith.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep the icebreaker.
So let me ask y'all. You touched on it a little bit earlier. How hard was it to break into that fashion world? Because I remember going to fashion shows and saying to myself, I'm never going back, right? Like, I remember I just went back there and they had me on the runway, and I just related this to like, this is how all fashion is. And everybody was getting undressed in front of each other. I was like, oh, this ain't for me.
Yeah, right.
This is not for me. But I credited that to the fashion world, right? And people say how hard it is to break through. Like, remember how Kanye and Sway? So how hard was it for y'all to get in that world?
For me, it was hard work. Don't get me wrong. It was a heavy lift, but we were doing something that's so natural to us that we were going against the normal the progress of a fashion house.
Right.
So whatever we did came natural. Like you said, you wouldn't walk a runway that made you uncomfortable. We didn't do shit that made us uncomfortable. We did shit that was real to us. Wherever it was. So in that form, it was easy because we were doing what came natural to us. But obviously all the late nights, the early mornings, all that shit was hard. But the actual building of the brand, that was in our DNA.
But I'm assuming you guys didn't try to break in the traditional fashion.
Exactly.
You guys were doing the workaround, knowing the audience you were going to.
We broke the system because they didn't actually allow us in department stores. They literally told one of us that all four of us on the hang tag. They said if we don't want people coming in that look like that who steal clothes or getting in the shootouts. So they wouldn't put us in there. But the reality is, if I was on a Nori set or Keith was on a Nori set, they're kicking everybody off the set. But if we had a way to, like, yo, nah, we dressing the artists over here. We wasn't dressing no artists. We just wanted to be on the set. So we make a shirt. Well, now we get to holler at the girls on the set. We get to eat the free food, the craft. I get to see an artist like Nori perform. So what we was doing, we was spending night and day on sets. If you really look at the first set was Miss Jones, Where I Want to Be, and then it was Ice Cream. You'll see Method in the truck going, Ice Cream Man, come on a FUBU hat. Then you'll see the Biggie, One More Chance. I'm in the background with a little hat, just always trying to place the hat in it because I just wanted to be on the set to watch artists. I just didn't want to get kicked off, and everybody else was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, you won't get out of here. No, you won't get out of here. I think that was the first way we started. So people started demanding it. They didn't go to these are cats who, like, I was a van driver in Rockaway. I know cats in Rockaway that never been to the city. Forget any place else in the country. So we now go to a specialty store in Rockaway and we start selling to the specialty store, the mom and pops, the everyday store. We didn't go to the department store. So it was really almost like we were putting on sets what we love and then giving it kind of like to the cats we know just in the hood.
And you said something earlier about not knowing how the work you're doing, that's getting out there, that you're not getting like the instant likes and all that shit. We were putting in that work as far as product placement goes when product placement wasn't really a thing. So we didn't realize that as kids in Atlanta, Alabama, Cincinnati, you know what I mean, Japan, seeing our stuff on video sets until we went out and actually go to the trade show. And these retailers told us, there's kids in my town in Michigan asking for your shit because so-and-so is wearing it. But we didn't get to feel that momentum until we started talking to retailers.
But if you knew the stores, it's a hood thing. And I'm not saying this because everybody here has to be hood. Everybody here knows this stuff. If you knew the stores you want to select, you know where we're going to go in Manhattan? We're going to put that stuff in the stores on 145. Why? Because everybody moving weight all the way up and down the Eastern Seaboard is going to that area to go and do whatever they do. And then they're going to stop off at 145 and go shopping. Then they're going to take clothes down the Eastern Seaboard. Right? So it's just if we're thinking about advertising.
Right, those stores were the influencers of the time. They were the tastemakers.
If you think about advertising, they charging $10,000. They charging $10,000 for 30 seconds on MTV. They charging $500 on BT. Why? Because the amount of people to watch. No. Ain't nobody in the hood filling out no Nielsen rating.
Right.
And everybody that's watching BET and the projects got 10 other people watching it. For $500, we're getting the same amount of value that would be $10,000 on MTV. It's just common sense about knowing who you're messing with, you know?
And who your market is, right?
So let me ask you this. At one point, right, we see FUBU product was in rap videos all day, right? But then at one time, labels start requesting that you block out the label. You block out.
That was early
you
on,
saw that. Right.
Huh?
That was early on.
That wasn't.
That was what MTV was doing that.
MTV was doing
Because they
that.
didn't know what the FB was, but it was in all these videos, and then you just started seeing it blurred out.
I can see how they can
You know what I'm saying?
F you. Like, I can see that now. I didn't even peep that then.
You know what it is?
But you know what we did? Remember what we did?
What's that?
Your man got one on right there. What happened was, it was 97, they started doing that. We realized, though, that they wouldn't block out jersey numbers. So before...
We own 05, right?
So before 05 ever existed, the year 05, we had always wanted FUBU to be 5 of us. We created the number 05 to be synonymous with FUBU. So we're the only ones in clothing that ever owned the number. Trademarked the number from 97 up to 05, and then they could never blur it because now you would have to be blurring 23, 48.
Right.
So that's how we started to place the stuff in the. So it was us, and I think BMW owns 323. And I think there's very few that owned actual numbers.
Yeah, it was a lot of guerrilla marketing shit we did though. Like, you know, we didn't do the basic route. We learned a lot from our mistakes and what we did, and you know, we just grew from there. You know what I'm saying? But we always kept it, like everything that we wanted to do is what we did with our brand. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to go this route because so-and-so was doing that. We didn't have to go that route because so-and-so was doing that. You know what I'm saying? We
And look at the labels at the time.
We stayed in our
remember
path.
when LP and Collins, the street teams.
Yep.
We had street teams as a fashion house.
Wow.
That was unheard of back then.
Wow.
We kind of ran a lot of our marketing and promotion. the same
Guerrilla
way a
marketing,
label would.
yep.
A lot of guerrilla marketing, a lot of in the face of our consumers, and that just spread like wildfire, man.
Was it? Because once people find out that the name means for us, by us, some people would take it as hip hop, or some people could take it as black people.
Right.
Did that ever like have a backslashing? Like if you try to get in the department stores and like we don't cover black clothing.
Yeah,
I think it affected us more on the consumer side,
Right.
Because in a way we are black men with a black owned company, but for us bias to us at that time was more than just it wasn't a race thing. It's more of a hip hop cultural thing. Because we from New York. We got Dominican friends.
Yeah.
We got Cuban friends. we got white friends.
We dressed MC Serge.
And they-
Beastie Boys are just as wild as anybody else.
So when it came to hip hop, it wasn't a color thing. So our thing for us bias was like more of a cultural thing for the hip hop community, by the hip hop community.
But I
now,
think-
obviously, being black owned, being black men, black owned company, we couldn't ignore that fact because a lot of people saying, "Yo, don't wear our shit." And we knew that that's something that we wanted to address in our clothing.
But also to keep it 100 though, I mean, you hear somebody who it has so much pride and go, man, you finally made something for us. It's hard at that moment to go, yeah, it's true, and it is powered by an African-American culture that came out of the Bronx, and we are represented, but you gotta allow everybody to touch this because I think hip-hop and country are always gonna be the most powerful music ever because it's the voice of the have-nots, but you can't exclude somebody from our beautiful life or our struggles. Don't think like that. You can't say that to somebody at that time who was just like, with so much pride. You know what I mean? You're just like, all right, cool.
Right. Because you know, it's a saying. Like whenever somebody's doing something good, they say, "Oh, we the FUBU of this shit."
Right.
Yeah.
We've said it here.
We know we said it. but I take pride when somebody says that. And you know what's the crazy shit about it is? I immediately know what they're saying when someone says, "Oh, we the FUBU of this shit."
Right.
And I say either they mean, the team, or we in control of our own shit.
Right,
like
by the culture, for the culture.
It's both of those things.
Yeah, it's both of those
But
things.
the reality of it is, it was never black. It was black owned, but never black only.
Yeah, black only.
We never thought of it as because first of all, it's bad business to say
Right.
Can't buy my shit.
Right.
This is bad business.
And we created it because we felt that Timbaland at the time said that about us.
Right.
You can't buy our
That was
shit.
energy.
That was the energy. Remember when they wrote that
remember
campaign?
Timbaland,
We don't sell our boots to drug dealers.
Yeah.
And we were buying 3 pair of Timbaland a year when a construction worker was buying 1 pair a year. And so we would be guilty of that. We would become the same thing we're fighting against if we decided to be that ignorant.
Right.
Now, this famous LL commercial. It's a Gap commercial.
Right.
But he had a FUBU hat. I thought that was the hardest shit in America at the time. Yo.
That was gangster.
Was that done on purpose or that was a mistake?
Keith, I'll tell you, Keith gonna remember it all.
Nah, he went down to do the commercial, and my boy Roundtree that was holding him down at the time called back to the office. It was like, yo, L's gonna wear this hat. Can he wear the hat? He asked first. He said, can he wear the hat in the commercial?
Right.
So I was like, hell yeah, but hold on 1 second. Put him on hold. I go in there to these guys. I'm like, yo, L wanna wear the FUBU hat in the Gap commercial. Everybody's like, hell yes. I go back to Round. Yo, it's a go. We didn't know he was gonna rap about it. But, you know, they just didn't have a hat to fit him. But
Yeah, L said that.
he changed the game with that one. Like,
How many people from the Gap had to get fired, bro? Who did he catch on?
Everybody. Everybody.
I'm telling you,
we heard it was
like
the
16 people that got fired from
It
that.
was a few.
How long did that commercial run? Because we keep
It
looking
ran
at it.
for like about a year and a half.
Wow.
It still runs.
They ran for like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, and then they stopped it.
They stopped. So
and then they reran it.
think about it. There is no social media at the time. The Gap runs an ad. They spend $30 million on every network. He's in the ad, acapella, Forrest Bias, on the low. It's running. They don't have anybody culturally relevant in the company, black, white, I don't care, yellow, who said, yo, there's no hashtag.
You know what they're saying, right?
There's no hashtag Gap fail. Yo, dudes is in the mirror, I'm like, yo, the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Over at the Gap. Nobody tells them.
No.
How many weeks, Keith?
For a while, but the illest story was when we first saw the commercial.
Yo.
Because we were all in the office watching it. They said, oh, yo, here go the Gap commercial. We sitting there watching it.
Y'all don't know he about to shout y'all out.
No! We know he got the hat on, so we want to see the hat. So, we looking like this.
Y'all must have been a party after that.
For us boys on the low. He was like,
We were like, what
he just say? What? Oh, say word. He just said FUBU in the Gap commercial. Yo, it was crazy. That day was crazy.
Know what it reminds me of is LL had vested interest in our company.
Right.
So we worked this situation with him where he was incentivized to go the extra mile. So
Right.
he was invested in our company, and he really just once he got to a situation, he felt like I can make this much by making this shit this much hotter, and I got these platforms. He was off. His sitcoms, at that time he wouldn't take the shit off. Like,
he
was invested in the company.
he is so underrated as a partner, a pioneer, a legend through so many transitions to even what he's doing, Rock the Bells. But he to me is one of the cats who this was not his brand totally. He was a part of the brand.
Right.
He got paid off the brand. He went so hard.
Right.
It wasn't talk to my manager.
We
It was just
He went above and
all-
beyond
We
doing
thought he
that.
owned it. We always thought he
Yo,
owned
and
it.
I gotta tell you, I don't think
that commercial, not only did we thought he owned it, but after that commercial, we thought the Gap
Owned
bought
it.
y'all. Yeah, we thought the Gap bought y'all.
And then that's what happened. The Gap did their numbers. They realized the target market they were trying to
It
hit
worked.
increased 300%.
For everybody.
That the kids thought they can buy FUBU at the Gap. And then L goes back to them and says, why don't y'all do a deal and just get over it? I know, lick your wounds.
Right.
Re-air the commercial. And then they re-air the commercial.
Listen, that commercial was so powerful. When I watched it today, I had the same exact feeling that I had back then.
Right.
Like, it didn't go away.
You're like,
not
yo,
even a little bit. I
these
was
cats
like,
on.
and I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you this for a long time. I haven't been seeing y'all, but I wanted to ask y'all this for a long time. So you mean to tell me that L asked for the hat, went in and laid the lyrics, and then put it to them, and they had no idea.
No idea.
What's crazy is we've had all angles of the story because we've had L talk about it.
Yep.
You've been on the show before. We spoke about it, and it doesn't get old. It's such an epic moment in hip hop and in clothing, and
And the wild part is he said the way he said it in the rap.
On the low.
Because only you, if you was in hip hop, only you would understand that. So there's people call me like, yo, you heard L?
Right.
But nobody, if you didn't understand that language and that lingo at that time, it went right.
It was really authentic.
You had to know what FUBU meant.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Back
it was
then.
rebelling within the system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you ready to quick time? Oh my God, yo, that shit is so crazy. So, what made y'all go on tour? Because I heard y'all saying that earlier. That was a lot of the other things that you just said wasn't traditional either, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember seeing that. I remember seeing y'all. You know what I mean? What made y'all say I'm going to be a part of it that much? Because you could just clothe the rappers, and y'all guys had to go physically yourself.
That was before we.
But what tour you talking about? We were on tour as guests on tour, and then the good old days when we started doing Cancun, or we just roll into a city and we just buy out a bar for 3 hours for everybody.
Sounds like the good old days.
That was going
That was the Club FUBU tour. That was social media. That was Instagram back then.
Until it got, you got your crew, right? Until some cats started going, no, the ball's on me. I'm like, yo, homeboy, this is on the come. No, the ball's on me. I met one of my dudes like 20 years ago. He said, I just paid off that credit card from the night I bought out the bar in Detroit. We were like, yo, you got caught up, homeboy. But because that's the type we would do. We would, before social media was out, somebody would like, let's say Live happened on Sunday night 25 years ago. You would hear the DJ go, FUBU just bought out the bar for the next 3 hours. I don't care what you're drinking. It's on FUBU.
You guys were BMFing it back then.
Yeah, but we were going to write it off.
That's marketing now at its finest.
Right, because like you guys said, y'all went at it like a hip hop promotion.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is a clothing line, so I had never seen. Like we heard of Cross Colors, but we didn't know how Cross Colors people look. We thought they was lying to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We thought Cross Colors and Damage was the same people. Like
It was something iffy.
This was like the first time we see the owners of the brand. We see the brand and we see the owners of the brand out.
Right. And they look like me.
And they look like me. Yeah.
Well,
So
who are the other people in the space at the time? Was Walkerware out yet?
Nah, we
had Echo launched yet?
We advised Dame Dash on how to start rock. We put the president Jeff Tweedy over at Sean John when he wanted to start that brand. We advised Mark Echo. Here's the ones who we came up with: Maurice Malone, April Walker, Carl Kanai, the Baz Brothers.
Brothers.
And at that time, when we would go to our trade show, there was nobody else at the trade show.
Magic?
Yeah, of color. There was nobody of color in the trade show.
Right.
Wow.
So we would just be us. We'd get together in a little room and talk about what we were going to do.
wow.
But we also ruined the Magic trade show because we started the wild parties.
Right.
We would get 6.
Trying to interject the rapper, basically.
We would hire 6 busloads of
parties is
It
legendary.
seemed like it was a hip hop trade show at one point.
We would hire 6 Greyhound bus loads of models from LA. We would have them all come to the trade show for one party, one night, all wear FUBU, come in, and they would be Cinderella. They'd have to get right on the bus right after and leave. And all the buyers and everybody started hearing about this party. There was all these beautiful people. You would never see them again.
Imagine walking in a
always like
party. It's like 5 guys and like 200 women.
Wow.
and we sprinkle them in there like 5 at a time.
And very classy women,
you know.
And we made sure that everybody was safe because they had to get right on the bus and leave, not stay in Vegas, not get in trouble.
Right.
So we would do methods like that, Super Bowl, we'd buy a beautiful space for just 3 days. It'd be called Club FUBU, and you had to get a pass by one of us to literally get in, and it would be DMX performing, that cat, so at Cancun, same stuff, all the same mentality. It's just a hood mentality, you know what I mean?
Yeah, strictly hood mentality.
Yeah.
Man, I miss those days. I miss those days.
What's the difference of an everyday person when we were talking before, an everyday person in your store, and you say, thank you for coming so much. take that home, man.
Right.
How's your mother doing?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in that form, but when somebody feels like you care about them and you took that moment,
Right.
they will never forget that in their entire life, ever. You know?
I remember Nelly telling me, yo, came to your FUBU party at Daddy O's last year. I was Cornell back then. I wasn't Nelly yet. He said, but that party was crazy. And it's funny because we were on stage. What was that thing they did, Wet and Wild or whatever in Cancun?
Yeah.
We was on stage and he was telling, this is when he was telling it to me. And it was just crazy to hear him say it because we was vibing on his music. Yet he was vibing on us.
I remember,
and being in our parties, having fun
I
with
remember
us.
50 used to be online there when he was a young artist coming up, or it was LeBron. Remember when LeBron?
Yeah,
did?
LeBron
we
was out
introduced
there.
him when he first he didn't get drafted yet.
That's why Fifth shot his first video at one of our parties out there.
If it wasn't for hip hop, if it wasn't for
it's
hip hop
crazy.
music, FUBU wouldn't exist.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Hell
Let's
no.
make some noise for that, goddammit.
You can tell. You can tell.
But at one point, like, the brand did go commercial, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was just everywhere. It was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Was that hard? Because you know how they say it. when your records get played on the radio too much, they you pop now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Did y'all ever feel like that?
Oh,
We was just having a conversation about that because we thought at that time we were gonna have no more than 3 years.
Right.
Like, yo, we got 3 years. We got to get as much money as we can because it ain't gonna last that long.
Right.
And then here we are sitting 32 years later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saying the same shit. Like, damn,
Right.
we here. Like, this is,
Right.
legendary.
Right.
But listen, end of the day, I'm glad that we had a previous conversation about analytics. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We went popping. I love it, right?
I mean, he's a keep it real nigga.
But
I'm selling out. Yeah,
all day,
yeah,
right? I'm here to sell out.
Yeah, I'm selling out.
Inventory sold out. Yes, I sold out.
Exit strategy.
But a hot fashion brand lasts 5 to 7 years. Where is United Color, Benettons? I don't know. Where's Latigo? Where's Lacoste? Where's the Let's Say? When they came into the market, Levi's doing 18 billion. They went down to 3. They're back up to 6. When you really think about the brand, a lot of people have fell in love with their brand so much. But you know what? If you would love FUBU, loved it to death, and you were in high school, and that was the only thing you wore. When you went to college, you want to feel a little different, right? And that's when we started to expand the brand. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna do you with Drink Champs. I think Drink Champs could be a whole bunch of licensing, and I think there's a lot of things. I think that's
That's
I think
what we want to do.
I think that you could be the Coco Bongo.
Our IP is ready to go.
Of our community. You know what I'm saying? We'll get that license on our little.
I'm already thinking.
the wire. But yeah, of course, it went pop, and you know what? It went like this.
Right.
And for many years, we took the brand overseas. A lot of people said, tell them. I mean, because one of the biggest issues was
It went to Japan, right?
Yeah. it was like 1998. We was hot as fish grease. You know what I'm saying? We was hot as fish grease.
He probably said it every year too. What?
Y'all giving me chills.
So the brand was so hot that people couldn't figure out how to stop us. Like they couldn't. So they created this story of we sold the brand.
Right. I
And
heard
for
that
some
story.
reason, no matter what we did, it just stuck for some reason.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like even it's 2024.
It's stuck that you sold it.
Yeah.
And
people
who
was still-
created this idea? This rumor?
It was. I feel. I'm gonna speak for myself. It was the competitors because they were like, "Yo, let's throw a monkey wrench in." Is they like we was getting
your
$350
competitor
million.
being the peers, your peers in hip hop clothing.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm not saying
deeper than that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
our
not
peers
saying
are not necessarily Carl Kanai.
Right.
There's other entities that own these brands as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Compete with us.
People started buying
what I'm
out these
saying?
brands, and then it's them.
like you don't do business with a person, then you want to throw a little. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Because, before you say something, because I'm gonna tell you the reason why the rumor was a little bad, because this was the company that said they for us, by us.
Right.
And
How you
then-
gonna sell it?
and then they sold it.
Well, you can
here's the
sell
deal.
us by
because
us, like-
Yeah.
Yo,
I wish we
fact,
would've
we
sold
did sell. We did sell.
Right.
But what we did do is we sold the region. And I think
Territories,
That's where the territory.
we sold
that's
3
where it
regions.
started.
We sold China, Korea,
Philippines.
and Philippines, and
roughly about 30 million hours. We sold those territories.
We can't touch those areas, and Korea was more skate, and we didn't know how to relate to skate, so we just sold those areas. You can break up your brand now, and you see like enough Shark Tank, right?
That's
but I'll give you an
amazing.
example.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta ask you something.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I think publicly we were so open about our world, so we were like, yeah, we got a distribution deal with Samsung. Same as you may have a distribution deal. You own your brand. You may be on whatever platform it is. Today,
Right.
it's normal. Then people are like, oh, you owned by Samsung.
Right.
No, we have a distribution deal
People
by
think we're owned by
Samsung.
Revolt. They're
Right.
our
You're
distributor.
owned by
Right.
Revolt, right? They'll be like, well, then who owns Revolt? Well, who owns it? That person owns you.
Right.
And that was easy to say. Again, no
It's
social
a licensing
media.
deal, right?
It's a licensing deal
that's
that we're
exactly
owned,
what it is.
but
Yeah.
it's a distribution.
It's a
Distribution.
for layman's, it's rent. They're renting
Yeah.
you.
Okay,
It's a
yeah.
distribution deal. There's no social media. We can't answer
Right.
immediately. Somebody can't go to the FUBU or hear the FUBU Instagram or TikTok to go, yo, let me break it down. Let me
Right.
show you the paperwork.
Right.
No way to get out of it. It keeps spinning. You can't spend time on negative. What we do the commercials. Hey, we own it. We own it. The kids don't care at the end of the day. They care what's cool, what they
Right.
want to rock.
Right.
You know, so that's some of the things we have, the challenges.
So let me ask you, because that was very interesting what you said. So you said you sold to Korea.
The territories.
The territory.
So and then so that means that you guys wasn't designing those clothes that came out in those
Now,
areas?
here's how it starts. Usually we start with a licensing situation with, let's say, a company in Korea. And yes, we would guide them with all the branding and all the
quality
direction
control,
to go,
right.
quality control.
Right.
But once they get up and running, they may say, you know what? We want to buy this territory from you guys. We don't want to license it no more.
Right.
What's your price?
Right.
And that's what you look at, you know.
So if you did a license of Drink Champs in China,
Right.
We want to.
you can create whatever your a license is basically you leasing it to somebody. So you're renting your home to somebody. You can say, listen, guys, here in China, here's what I want you to do. I'll allow you to do 24 episodes of Drink Champ. But because we understand that China wants some portion of it to be China related, speaking that language, for a half an hour or hour, you can either go a half an hour is us, or we can go one segment is us, one segment is your version, one segment,
Right.
or you can go every other episode. So what we would do is say, here is the package. Here is all our logos, identity. We're making a military set. They'll go, okay, we'll use 50% of that. But in Japan, they used to like to dress, and they still do, some not like characters. They would say, we want to do that. We're not going to do your double X's because nobody's a double X over here. And 50%, we're going to create our own with your logo, but they're gonna look like a dog, literally a Rottweiler with FUBU on.
Whatever's trending in that.
You gave them, we gave them the DNA
Right.
to it. So that's how you do it. And you can license a territory. You can license, well, I'm going to give you suits. I'm going to give you bags. I'm going to give you boots. And that's how you see Mickey Mouse, Nike, Apple, all these brands that are going to scale, and everybody listening to us right now, if you want to scale your intellectual property, it's all about licensing. Because if we knew what we knew how to make for hip hop
That's it.
males between 18 to 35 that love to pay 20% more in quality goods. We knew that. You want to make ladies and you're a ladies manufacturer, we will license you because you know ladies. I don't know how to design like a lady. You want to make for makeup, you want to make for this. Like right now, Carl, he does. If you're as the baby boomers, primarily the African American baby boomers, their children now have wealth. But their parents don't necessarily have in the multicultural housing a place to retire that they feel that African Americans are sold up to. So if you want to go to Carl, because he runs the real estate division, you want to say, hey, I want to create a community for affluent African Americans who kids are lawyers, doctors, whatever the case is, but nobody's selling them. I want to create a FUBU community. Well, then you go to Carl.
And let me explain that to you real quick.
Yeah, please.
That's a license.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it's expanding the brand. So we're moving into real estate, which consists of anything from hospitality, housing.
Wait, FUBU real estate?
Well, we call it.
We call it a FUBU community,
Village.
whatever you want to call it. You may call it this community
Motherfuckers is
by
cold.
FUBU.
Go ahead.
Nah, but the reality is when you're dealing with developers, they always looking for a way to upsell whatever property they have.
Right.
So we feel our brand can give them the leverage that they need to get into certain markets. So we partner with housing developers, retail developers, commercial developers to build these communities that we're working on right now, right outside of Atlanta, that consist of housing, retail, hospitality, restaurants, sports what do you call those things? The things where you do all the sports things that. So we basically go into these communities that need these things and developing them for them.
And if we're going to have some medical, and if you think like your retirement, well, we want to have experts who understand heart disease,
Adult care living.
adult care for African American, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and be experts in that. So again, it's a license of people that we vet. And the same thing, if we want to do frozen soul food, well, we're going to say, well, African Americans suffer from a lot of, you wanted the African American taste or Caribbean taste, well, you want that, but you want it to be maybe not as much salt in it, not as much whatever the case. So bottom line is, when you license Drink Champs or whoever here talking about their bakery, their lotion, their whatever, if you are able to find great partners to say, I will take a 3-year license on that, and if I hit all the numbers and do it the right way, I'll do what I really do best. I believe in your brand, and I'll take it there, and then we'll keep it going. Some license screw you, but that's how we got to grow.
And for the young people that's going into building their brands, it's all about the brand.
Right.
You build the brand, you capture your market. Now you have an asset that you can go out and work these deals.
Isn't that what Mr. Beast does? Right? I think he just signed one of the biggest deals in history, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast. He did
The
Beast Burgers and all that kind of stuff like that. Or
the YouTuber.
YouTube, right?
Did he buy an island or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, they learned to license their brand,
No, that's something that from year one we knew. Build a strong brand, and we wanted
That's why we wanted to own it.
to license.
We wanted to be the FUBU.
Yeah, we wanted to do the territory thing as well. I looked at it as franchising Drink Champs to these different countries. Our idea was like, find the equivalent of Nori and EFN in your country that's credible,
Right.
and we'll give you the full franchise model of how that will work,
That's
and back
exactly
it from our end.
It's the same thing.
And license and do it that way.
You make money from whether the royalties from the advertising,
Right.
whatever you may do, you're working on royalties.
And your job is to keep the DNA of it, because if Drink Champs doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then everybody
Everything else
suffers.
falls.
Right.
Everything
Right.
falls.
Hence, going back to our partnership.
That's
If I don't do what I'm supposed to do,
Right.
the whole thing collapses.
Is it true FUBU owns Coogee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the way he
We ended up buying Coogee. We had, who else did we have? We had Kappa USA, but we gave that back because Kappa soccer didn't take off till last year in the damn
Yeah,
country.
some ownership in Etonic sneakers.
We have Etonic sneakers. Willie Esco, obviously our partner.
You a runner too, so you understand.
I don't know none of this shit.
With Senor Etonic.
Where the hell was I?
We had a company called Heather Red. We had Drunken Monk.
Married to the mob.
Married to the Mob. And we had what's that other Ted Baker we had for a little while, but we licensed that from them. We failed at that. We didn't know how to build retail stores. We were never experts at that. We love to know what we're experts at. So we failed at Kappa. We failed at Ted Baker. We reinvented Coogee because we bought that out of bankruptcy. And the old cats would say to the young kids, you don't know about this Coogee. And then we ended up making jeans that Coogee never made. And the young cats would say to old people, you don't know about this. This is not Coogee. So, yeah.
Man, let me tell y'all, man, our show is about giving people their flowers while they alive, not why, you know what I mean, something happens and you pass away. So we wanted to make sure that we tell y'all how much y'all mean to the culture, how much y'all mean to the society, how much y'all mean to us personally. So we wanted to give y'all
Man,
flowers.
thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
real flowers.
Oh,
And we got the other one for your partner
Yes,
didn't
yes,
make it.
yes, yes.
We got one. We got the
man.
other one to take.
I always say to Snoop Dogg said.
Give it to them. Might as well just give it to them. Put it on the table. Represent him.
There you go. Thank
Make sure you
brother.
represent him that he's not here.
All right, now,
For J.O.
yeah.
In his
Yeah,
absence.
big up my partner.
Yeah,
Jay-
we ain't forgetting no-
Jay Alexander.
FUBU
Network.
So we're gonna play a quick
quick
game.
time.
You explain to them? I know the fans hate when I tell you.
Who's
to
drinking? We
explain.
got to find out who's drinking for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all want any of y'all friends to be a designated drinker, or you want one of our dudes to be a designated?
Drinking tequila from her.
Oh,
Oh, damn. You got
Yo, Dick,
that
you wanna be a
information,
drinker?
Mr. Lee.
Yeah,
You want to be a
man.
drinker? Come on,
right.
come on. Who gonna be drinking?
Put him back. Sit back here.
Yeah.
Someone
Who
can
gonna be
sit
drinking?
here.
Come on, Keith.
Okay.
Radio.
I think everybody needs a designated drinker, right?
Oh, we do really?
Come on. Designated drinker.
Yes.
Come on in.
Do you hear that, folks? This is the only place in the world. There's designated drivers, but on Drink Champs, you get a designated drinker.
All right, designated drinker. There we go.
All right.
I need somebody to drink for me.
Yeah, we need one more designated drinker.
Come on. There we go. My man Carl's son.
Okay. And
So we're gonna give you two choices. If you pick one of these two choices, nobody drinks. Right? Nobody
Hold
drinks.
on. If you get what?
We're gonna give you two choices.
Okay.
Okay.
You say one over, you pick one. Nobody drinks. But if you say both or neither, which would be the politically correct answer,
Okay, got
we
you.
all drink in here. We all taking a shot. And please dive into any stories with anybody we mentioned. This is about, bringing up any stories with these folks.
start with you.
Let's rock, baby.
Carl Canal or Cross Colors?
Carl Canal. You know why?
I would like to know why.
Because I had a dream of owning a Range Rover one day.
You had a what?
I had a dream of owning a Range Rover one
Okay.
day. That was one of my goals. And Carl Canal made an ad in a ski hat, and he had some skis on, sitting next to a Range Rover. And I said, that's going to be me one day.
Wow.
Carl Canal was a big fucking encouragement to me to go
Influence.
hard.
Yeah.
Carl Canal for sure.
For some reason, I knew to ask you that question.
That's my guy.
I'm asking you this question.
Wait a minute. You don't drink. Nobody drinks.
Nobody drink. Nah,
No, he picked one. He picked one.
If you
picked
say
one.
if you don't pick, if you
You
don't,
say
You
both
don't
or
pick.
neither.
yeah.
Nas or LL Cool J?
Ooh.
LL Cool J.
No.
Nietzsche or Esco?
Esco. Because we own a little bit of that.
And shout out to Willie Esco, man.
Shout out to Willie Esco. He's the best partner ever.
Jay-Z or Biggie Smalls?
Big.
This is pretty easy. They answering.
Wait. Don't you? We throwing it at you too or no?
No, it's just for you guys.
Yeah.
Big all day, baby.
You got it?
Yeah. Fat Farm or Rockaware?
That phone.
Okay. Tupac or DMX?
Gotta be DMX, man. Damn.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all.
You want us to drink? We can drink. We'll drink.
Got any
Yeah,
stories
yeah,
with both of them? Either
There you go. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Okay.
any interactions with
yeah.
Pac or I know X.
You know what? One of my regrets. I don't think we ever had an interaction with Pop. Have we?
Never
I
met.
said what's up to him once.
You
but
said what's up?
that
Bro?
passion in the
I don't think
club.
I ever even seen him, man.
Yeah.
Really?
I never
I don't think I ever seen him,
never
man.
met Pac
Yeah.
neither.
I heard he's in the club one time when I was there, man.
You know what I love about the Pac? If you ask 10 different people, anything about Pac, 10 different people will give you 10 different stories.
Really?
Which I now know because I'm married to a Gemini. So I know that
He's just,
Don't blame
it's
it
different.
on Gemini.
it's Gemini shit, bro. It is. It is. Tommy Hilfiger or Nautica?
Nautica.
Okay. Yeah, you want to look at this one? Yeah.
Walker Ware or Maurice Malone?
Walk away.
These guys ain't making us
that's
drink
his
at all.
girl.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's my homie right
Yeah,
there
sure,
all
yeah.
day.
Big homie
I
right
mean, no disrespect to Maurice. Love him too, but
Yeah, April.
Nah,
That's,
April
was
is
my
dope,
homie.
yeah, that's
man.
big homie.
Versace or Gucci?
Get
We can drink it?
Yeah, man. That's a tough one. Both of them.
Cheers.
Yeah, both of them are legendary. Both of them got the emblem. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough
Good.
one.
Tribe Called Quest or Brand Nubian?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Linden Boulevard.
know what?
Linden Boulevard.
Nah.
Brand Nubians on that polo shit. I'm going with Tribe Called Quest.
Punk jumped up to get big. Come on, Grand
No,
Pooh.
it wasn't Grand Pooh, but Tommy Hilfiger.
It was
Yeah, Grand Pooh was rocking Tommy
Yeah.
Hilfiger.
Oh, okay. So I ain't gonna go there. I'm still gonna go with my guys from Linden.
Okay,
Linden Boulevard, baby.
Salt and Pepper or JJ Fad?
No.
Salt and Pepper.
On pepper all day.
Yeah, they
They grew up around the way. They grew up around the way.
So that would be you, baby.
Coliseum or Gertz Mall?
I'm going.
He want to drink it.
He's like, let me drink some.
Go ahead, drink it, man.
Yeah.
It's someone for you, man. Go ahead.
You going
Nah, we going Coliseum.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know
going-
how it go.
I'll
Yeah,
be with you.
That's the
Cheers,
first
cheers,
terminal
cheers.
over there, man.
You know, earlier when we spoke about you guys selling shirts and hats, in my mind, it was on the Coliseum.
Let me
lot.
tell you a story.
It was?
This is a quick story.
I'm ill.
Yo, it's two stories to that. Because me and Daymond worked in the Coliseum.
Get the fuck out
the
of here.
popcorn stand together.
Yeah.
At the pub.
That's how one of our first jobs together.
Wow.
Before Church's Chicken. Right?
Wow.
That's right.
But we started Easter Sunday was the first day we went out with our hats in front of the Coliseum Mall to start our business.
Because
That was it.
Damn,
My-
we just
you know, I
right now
smoke
it's
a lot of weed.
anniversary yesterday.
That's the anniversary.
It was 35 years
Easter
ago.
Sunday.
That's crazy.
That we stood outside in the corner, Carl and I. And I always say the story. I tell everybody. I always tell the story about myself, but I wasn't because back in the hood, you don't ever go nowhere by you. You don't even go to the corner store. Yo, take a walk with me.
Right.
Right. And I needed Carl, and he needed me because if we didn't know we were going to sell any, but I had $800. We had $800 together, and now all of a sudden we think about who's going to rob us.
Right.
It was a good Friday, and then
Good Friday, right.
Good Friday, 1989.
Because I remember, and my memory's fucked up, so I remember going to Shirt Kings and thinking I saw a FUBU shirt there.
Key cousin worked at Shirt Kings.
Yeah, big
That
typo.
shit is
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys.
That's way back there.
Yeah, like back then, I was like, Coliseum for me, and I know this is gonna really sound like that was like I didn't know no other fly.
Right.
Yeah.
That was it right there.
That was it.
Downstairs with the sneakers,
But they had
the
everything.
jewelry.
The gold caps, the jewelry,
everything.
Like
The
You
sneakers,
either-
all I knew.
That was it.
I mean, when you really think about it, it was Coliseum Shirt Kings, right? It was Mr. Lee, if you want to get some press on, or you didn't have money for Dapper Dan.
All right. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was expensive.
But then you could.
Yes, that's soon. My
You
Tigo
drug money
Bay.
back then.
Yeah, Montego, yeah.
Yeah, I when I moved around the world, and they called their spot flea markets.
Right.
But that's what Coliseum is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I was like,
So it's like our USA flea market out here.
What they call in L.A.
Swap meet?
The swap meet in
If
LA, yeah.
if you say the crazy shit is, if you say to me the Coliseum, I'm like, yeah, I'm with it. But if you say to me, come me to the flea market, I'm like, not knowing it's the same fucking thing.
I got my first fat gold chain from the Coliseum. I think it was $2 a yard. When you you remember get the rope chain and turn green like the same night?
Okay.
Couldn't tell me nothing, baby.
But you got to remember though, Coliseum didn't sell fake shit.
No,
They had real
They had real
Nikes,
shit,
real Adidas.
Yeah, everything.
So it wasn't flea market.
That's the
sometimes
difference between
sells fake
that and the
shit.
flea market. Is the
Yeah.
You have a real store right here in the flea market,
Right.
and you got it's bootleg.
Right.
You got the real
Yeah, the
FUBU
next
here,
one
and then the
right.
bootleg right
yeah.
next to it.
Big difference.
Word. Okay, you said I got the next one.
No, podcast or radio.
Radio.
Okay.
Come on, FUBU Radio, man.
FUBU Radio.
What you talking about? You gotta go hard,
I'm in.
man.
FUBU Radio. That's what we talking
Man,
about.
we get a license over here, drink jam.
Echo or Sean John?
Let's drink.
Yeah, you
to
gotta drink that. You gotta drink that. You gotta drink that. Mark was so edgy with his from that side, and Sean John.
put the flavor.
When Echo had the tapes that came with it, that was
Echo had that, and then Sean John he took it to a higher level with a lot of the furs and a lot of other
The
stuff.
lawsuits.
They kept it going. You know what I
Right.
mean? And yeah.
And this is style wise, but you can answer it whatever way you want. Dapper Dan or Groovy Lou?
Oh what?
Groovy Lou.
Groovy Lou.
Groovy Lou all day.
Groovy Lou. all
Groovy
day.
Lou.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah, maybe whatever.
Yeah.
I'm taking a shot because I'm shocked.
We don't really
Yeah,
fuck with Dapper Dan like that.
Really?
Nah.
Is there a story behind that? Or?
We don't know the story behind it,
You
but
don't-
it's just
yeah.
like little jabs that we don't understand. Like we've always show respect, but I know Carl has something to say on that too.
Yeah,
but,
I need
what I'm
to
saying?
No, it is. It's not even about dap. It's about I think even when it comes to what's his name, what's my man name? Jim Jones. He said something not so long ago about how cats in Harlem didn't fuck with FUBU. And at that time, I was in sales of FUBU. I was head of sales. So I knew the numbers we were writing with Sammy's, the cats 145th. I knew they were making millions of dollars off our brand.
Right.
And I knew what Macy's wearing our shit.
Right.
I knew Cameron's wearing our shit.
Right.
And for him to come and say that Harlem didn't fuck with FUBU, it just it touched me the wrong way.
Right.
So when you come to Dap, he never showed us much love.
Wow.
Jim never showed us much love. Even though he tried to do the same thing we tried to do with that vampire shit.
Right.
He should know how hard this business is and how hard it's for us to maintain what we're doing.
Right.
To try to say we ain't shit, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But with that being said, though, we love Harlem. Harlem always loved us.
Right.
And we'll be back in stores over there soon.
You know what's crazy? Rap is like so competitive, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone is always at each other. And the other day I had lunch with Dave Chappelle, right? And I kind of like.
That's a flex.
Slight floss, right?
No, my bad. It's just. My bad. I didn't mean it like that. I kind of laughed at him because I was like, finally, comedians is going through what we. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, get the heat.
I kind of like it. So it's like the fact that. Because rap, we didn't see human at first. Like, you getting money and then you start beefing. Like, that shit don't make no sense. But to see it in other worlds, like, a part of me was like, damn, that's real. Like, y'all go through it too. Like, I didn't think of it like that. I thought, this is what I thought.
What you thought?
Swear to God, I know I'm mad naive, so forgive me. But I thought y'all all cool. Y'all can kumbaya, you see each other in Cancun and party. And I think the whole fashion.
Right.
Because I never heard of y'all beefing. You know what I'm saying?
And there's no beef. It's just that.
It's just a lot of shit we've been through behind the scenes that people don't know about. Like they see the story.
Jabs
we know.
Daymond
mortgaged his house for $100,000, and we did deal with Samsung and all of that, but they don't know the extortion plots. They don't know the deep shit that we be going through behind closed doors, and why we talk about putting out a documentary.
Yeah, let me tell you. So let's talk about some of that shit, right? Cool. Because by the way, we've been holding back the doc and the series, right? Because every time like Hollywood talks to us and they always do docs and series about stories that somebody ended up dead or in jail or a crime family, African American, whatever, and they always go. When we tell our story about what happened, so they go, so one of y'all in jail? Nah. Somebody getting weaned off a pedo? Nah. Y'all all still alive? Yeah. But what happened was, when we came up, as I said, homophobic culture, nobody thought we were making money. So what happened is nobody grabbed on to us from the streets. None of the Supreme. Remember, we come up with Supreme Team. Right. We come up with Tommy Montana in Queens, and like we come up with all these cats
we was in Encore.
Where they usually try to grab on to you before you come up, but we come up silently.
Right.
All of a sudden, $350 million are going through a system. You got now the Yakuza in Japan and China going, you better make the clothes over here with us.
Wait, they telling you this?
Yeah, or something's going to happen. You got a buyer at a store who's like, I'll buy $10 million worth of shit, but I need a house. Right? You got the mob going, there's $100 million coming into your warehouse. Just claim insurance on $5 million. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be there when you got there. If you don't,
it's a washing machine in it.
If you don't, it's way worse than that. You got the street seeing us coming out going, $350 million must be under your mattress.
That counts.
So now we got to hire the dudes. We got to hire the personal bodyguards who used to deal with the tunnel in Union Square to know that they're going to be able to deal with the streets. You got to start trying to move your family out of there because they ain't going to get to you. Well, the worst person to ever get kidnapped ain't the person getting kidnapped. It's the friend next to him because those are the fingers that are going to show up at the house.
Right.
We have all this coming to us. at the same time, right? And we're trying to push this away because we're just trying to make clothes.
You're just trying to run a business.
Right.
You gotta deal with all of this
so
side.
when you got that kind of system happening, there's a lot of things that happen, and there's a lot of hate that happens too, because your clothing brand not working because ours is. And we're not trying to do anything.
It's just not your time, son.
I want y'all to tell your story so bad because
we're gonna tell that story one day.
Because it just looked like there was nothing. It just looked like y'all just blew.
I was 4 cars away when Biggie got shot.
Wow.
I was 4 cars in front of him.
We was partying with him
just said
tonight.
what's up to him.
Yeah, we sent him a bottle of Dom, and he raised his bottle up. We raised our bottle up.
We got story. We got
20
story.
minutes
Because you got to
later,
remember,
party ended.
everybody's trying to fight and all that stuff. We just trying to dress everybody, man. We in between everything, East Coast, West Coast. Suge shows up at one of our parties that we're throwing for Lennox Lewis after party. The promoter was a promoter from LA, so he had to let Suge in. But then my bodyguards had to go to Suge and say, "Get the F out of here," because Puff's coming in. And so now, we got a beef in the streets with Suge that we don't got a beef, but my dudes had to settle it because now they had, they're deep with my dudes. Our dude is ex-Navy SEAL. We got all kind of stuff. We just trying to dress people, man. Yo, you want a shirt, homeboy? And we got a lot.
You had
of
me
stuff.
at Yakuza, like you do that shit.
The wild thing, Nori, is
man.
It's
We
one
talk
story
about
about
third world
FUBU.
countries.
One story about FUBU, but it's 4 different stories.
Yeah.
We tried to stop the counterfeiters on 27th Street.
Got my ass
in
whooped.
Manhattan, and we tried to stop them, and we found out that a lot of those are these organizations overseas that don't do well for the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to say their name. 300 people come out of those buildings and start chasing. We have off-duty cops. They start whipping the cops. Keith got caught up in it.
I was in the hospital. They just caught me.
Yeah.
Kicked me
And,
in my
so,
kidney.
and that's written up in the paper because you have all these counterfeiters coming out. If FUBU did, let's say we did 10 billion over the years, counterfeiters did 50 billion.
Wow.
So it's a lot of stuff in our world that, listen, there's nobody going to do $200 million worth of business annually without a lot of people wanting to get paid.
No, this is the reason why y'all got to really.
And we got all to say. We're gonna tell them a story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we got stories for days.
What about the Fatty Girl set? Who walked onto the Fatty Girl set? That we couldn't put that tape out.
We got O.J. Simpson in the Fatty Girl video, like
Dancing with Superhead.
yeah.
With handcuffs on. What was the story? What
Who
happened?
had handcuffs on?
Ludacris had the chain, Ludacris chain with the
That's
handcuffs.
hotel with the jelly.
Tell them the story.
And OJ just popped out of nowhere. He came there, him and Superhead dancing. He got the chain.
No, he looks at Ludacris and says, "I know what those are," and they were handcuffs. He put the handcuff gold chain around him. Superhead Corinne Stephens starts dancing with him. He shoots the video. I got it still locked up because as soon as Hype Williams put the video together, we grew up with Hype too. He was on tour with us.
Of course.
We show it to the store. They go, "You can't put that video." Why?
Universal.
No, we showed the Universal. They said no store will ever carry your stuff because you are promoting O.J. Simpson.
So I'm assuming this is after the.
Yeah.
Right.
Bang,
Oh,
bang.
this is after.
Yeah,
This is
okay,
after
all
he came home. This is after. And so
he's clean.
we locked that tape up.
He was fresh out.
Yeah, we locked that tape up forever.
Right. Holy shit.
Anyway, we've been through a lot, man.
Academics or LRG?
It's the same. You got to drink that. Now,
Yeah,
it's
all right,
the same to me.
same to me.
Same style, same thing.
I didn't think I know the owners of the LRG.
Where we at?
Polo or Perry Ellis?
Fuck Polo.
Fuck Polo?
Perry Ellis.
Yo, you said fuck Polo twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Cats that wear polo, it cringes me, dog.
Why?
Why
Tell me,
that?
Sean.
Because the bottom line
Make sure I'm
is
good.
the bottom line.
I grew up.
I feel like this. There's so many black-owned brands right now that are so dope. Let's forget FUBU on this thing. But to put that much energy and influence and effort behind a brand that literally does nothing for your community,
It's real.
it rubs me the wrong way. I look at this. When we started, we built a company based upon young black and people of color, hiring them, giving them jobs, opportunities. And without companies like ours, without supporting companies like ours, a lot of these kids would never had the opportunity that we gave some of these kids. Now some executives have Adidas, Puma, they doing things that they would never had the opportunity to do without FUBU.
Right.
So we need more, like JC said, we need more FUBUs.
Right.
Because a lot of kids just won't get those opportunities about it. So when I say fuck Polo, nothing personal to that cat, Ralph, whatever his name is, but it's just to that energy that you give those brands as opposed to where you can really put your resources.
But and this is why we're all great partners. So whether we're talking about if we feel some cats have said something negative or not, I'll always come and he'll do the vice versa. I mean, I'll be the devil's advocate. Well, maybe Jim, the group he hung out with never rocked it, so that was his experience. Maybe Dap, this and that. Maybe Ralph Lauren made Tyson Beckford. And Tyson Beckford was the first African-American male supermodel that I know, right? And maybe Ralph Lauren inspired, it ain't Ralph though, to step up his game. And so we'll always have these healthy debates, and I think that's what creates innovation. I don't disagree with Carl, and I don't agree with Carl.
Right.
And vice versa.
Take a shot for that.
You see what I'm saying?
And can't forget that a lot of the Polo thing was people were boosting it. And in a sense, that was a protest,
and a lot of it was a protest, and they made some money.
But people was boosting it
from an economical standpoint. Right. The bottom line is, if companies like ours don't survive, young creative people don't have the chances that they would have if we do something.
I agree.
But you know what? I like what we're doing now is we're spreading the business out. It's just not clothing, it's radio, it's TV, things of that nature. I've been doing FUBU radio for the last 8 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge. It's not easy.
Right.
But we've turned the corner and, did a deal with U42. My people at U42, we building an 18-stage theater, an 18-stage studio in Atlanta.
Right.
So... we working on some other things, you know what I'm saying? That's going to bring...
Not just clothing,
and there's no limitations.
With the revenue, with the capital from your supporters. I mean, the bottom line is you're going to spend your dollar somewhere.
I'm in the
Just
middle.
be conscious of that.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm in the middle. I'm going to throw it back in Drink Champs. I see your production crew and I see everybody here. It's a healthy mix of beautiful people of all colors. And I think that what happens is... when I look at a lot of the production crews, they only look one way.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I think that the beauty of what you do right here is everybody comes up with, they get the best out of both. You show these major companies right here that you can make money keeping it real with a real crew of mixed people. And I think that collectively, I think sometimes that's where Carl and I may disagree because... maybe it was the fact that it was, that maybe don't do as much of the community this way, but it inspired the community this way. So
because I don't want to tell you. I remember we had Shaquille O'Neal sitting right here, right? And I say to Shaq how much I like Audemars, right? I'm like I like Audemars, and Shaq looks at me and he goes, "I know Audemars cares about me. Do you think they care about you?" And I had to think. Holy shit! I was like, because it's true. Sometimes it's not just Audemars. It's like Rolex. People don't really know.
This is my favorite watch right now.
And which one is?
It's the FUBU watch.
FUBU watch.
You know why?
Uh-huh.
Because it makes me money.
God damn it!
It pays my. You know what I mean? There's no valuable watch
now
in this
you
watch.
know who the militant one is.
But the reality is, it's creating wealth for me. It's creating opportunities for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this means more to me than any Rolex I can have.
Shout out to Shaq, the king of licensing.
Yeah. So
he's ill.
Yo, he's ill.
let me ask you. I saw. I can't say this brother name, right? But I saw the dude, and he was really trying to just wear just black owned shit, right? It's just that he picked the worst brands, right? He just I'm looking like, man, you need to go back to selling now, right? I said that all wrong, man. He gonna know exactly how I think about him too.
I think he knew exactly who you were talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, he knows exactly. So he said the people know too. Okay, but sometimes the quality is not the same when you want to just support your people, right? Like let's suppose if I wanted to eat Puerto Rican food,
Right.
like today. I called my engineer, who we always eat vegetarian Jamaican food. Don't ask me why. We just like it, right? We made Ital. But today, I purposely knew I was going to a Jamaican stew, and I knew I was going to be disrespected.
Right. You got
Like I knew they could go, what y'all want?
Yeah.
I knew it.
You're gonna get the abuse.
Like I knew that. I knew that was coming out.
Right.
But it's like, damn. Like like when I sometimes go to our people, I know that it's like, yo, you supposed to be here. Yeah. And it's like, nah. So my wife ordered the food, right? And she was like, yo. And I was like, yo, can you order it for me? I'm about to get a haircut. I'm going out. And she was like, yo, if my employees talk to me the way this, because my wife owns the juice bar, right? So she's like, if my employees just talk to me,
Juicy Juice Bar,
and I
by
had
the way.
to tell her, no, man, this is Jamaican shit. like I'm used to it.
You brace yourself before you walk in the door.
So sometimes, this is the point I'm trying to make, right? Sometimes when you support just the culture, some of the products aren't that great.
Agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
You know, the foundation of when some of the things we created was, prior to that, besides cross color, you had to wear kente cloth colors to support African American businesses. And then cross colors came out and they broke the mold and they inspired me. But I don't want to wear no orange or yellow
Every day.
denim suit.
Yeah.
Like,
The
why do I got-
the character suit.
or the little character shirts
That's
were
what
out
was that.
and they wrinkle. They're gone after one
Wasn't
day.
they wearing them backwards back
We
then?
always
Ooh.
No, that
emphasize
was Chris
quality.
Cross.
And
Yeah,
and you're right. I don't care what organization, color, you got to step up your game and you got to prepare. And we should not support those companies that do that because we should give them a shot.
Right.
Give them a second shot. Put them on notice.
Right.
Support somebody else because there's somebody else who's trying to make it better.
Right.
For them. You know what I mean? But I do want to, instead of I do want to talk about the people who do support FUBU today. You
Right.
know what we realize with the people who support FUBU today?
Let's not talk about the people who don't. Let's talk about people who do.
The ones who do.
That's right.
Highly educated people or with people with a lot of money because they can pick from anything and they don't just do FUBU.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see like old school people in their 30s, 40s, they'll buy the shoes, whatever, because they can pick from anything and they say, hey, I'm going to make 10% of my wardrobe that. Mm-hmm. Also, you'll see like a lot of the young artists who are very pro, they have a silent message to everybody. Like I know Drake supports it a lot. Mm-hmm. What are other artists, younger artists?
SZA for sure.
SZA supports it all the time. Who else? Yachty. Who else?
So what's the girl?
So a lot of the music artists today who are trying to do a kind of like a little like they're doing their LL Cool J. They're doing their
Like a subliminal.
And what's dope about it, let me just stop you for a second. What's dope about it, if they're discovering it just now, but most of them want to pay homage.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to pay homage. They want to say, they want to rock what their favorite rappers rocked when their favorite rappers was rocking.
Right.
So I see that a lot. Like when, I'll go through the malls or something like that, and I'll see like my sons or somebody like this, and they'll pick up, and I'm like, I want to say, you don't know about no FUBU, and he like, but he does know.
He does know.
Yeah.
Right.
He's seeing these videos,
and that's what it is. So when there's older people who know what it is and they have a choice of anything and everything, they choose that. The younger artists who are trying to do the subliminal, and then a lot of times it's the younger kids who are saying, this is mine. I'm going to reset this thing off because I'm creating an identity that you don't know about. They're very pro-conscious. And those are the people that we again, like we've always tried to do. We've always tried to appeal to those and not talk about the negative stuff. And I want to make sure we twist.
But those girls, the people
Go ahead,
that you...
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the key to all that, even being successful, is that there has to always be quality. You want to pay homage, the quality's got to be there.
Right.
The new cat wants to come in and discover it, the quality's got to be there.
The thing,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The thing about what we did was we made sure we put the quality in our clothes.
Right.
So people, how we actually relaunched, because everybody was doing their thing, both doing their thing, but how we relaunched was people started thrifting, and the clothes they were finding looked brand new.
Yeah.
So then they started like posting, I'm bringing FUBU back, I'm bringing FUBU. But I'm looking at these clothes like, damn, this jacket looks brand new. This sweatshirt looks brand new.
One of your brother, I mean, obviously my crew got it because, you know, and a lot of this stuff is not, well, we did a collaboration with Puma and various other things, but one of your brothers on set, he got a jersey. We didn't make that. We made that jersey 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yellow jersey.
He made it yesterday.
There you go. That's 20 years old, man. It looks like it's brand new.
And Ori.
You know what I'm saying? So
You got it.
From vintage shop.
But that is the quality. Because we was kids at
It
the
looks
time.
good,
We
though,
said,
brother.
how are we going to
Yeah,
make this
it's
the
an
way
investment.
we wanted to make it?
Wait, hold on. I'm just catching on to what you just said. Hold on. You saying that shirt's 20 years old?
And he bought it at a vintage store.
No, that
That's a
shirt.
testament to
Quality.
quality. That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
That's what's important, that the quality be there.
A little over 20 years old. That's
And by the way, shout out to our partner
1999,
Jay, because when Jay first used to come home with clothes that he spent all the money on, I used to look at him, he was crazy, and he said that's an investment, and he always pushed the quality. Our partner
Always
who's
push
not,
the
who's not in the podcast with
He
us
had
right
$600 Gucci pants.
and he
on
only
and
had
$2 in his
$500 a
pocket.
week. A month.
Wow.
But his pants was crisp.
Wow. Okay.
We still a quick time.
Yeah. Video music box or your MTV rap?
Video music box all day.
Video music box.
I love that.
Shout out Ralph.
The Source or Double XL? Anybody?
Double XL had better bitches. I
Jeez.
say Double XL.
He said what?
Yeah, he said battle bitches.
Yeah, man. You just keep it 100.
A different magazine. That's a different magazine, man.
Yeah.
but it was in the magazine.
You know my chains
I
or
caught
something
on
like
immediately. I
that.
knew exactly what you was talking
Double
about.
XL.
You know they didn't have little bunny ears on the magazine? You talking about?
A little edgier.
Man, I say Source, man.
Sauce, I say sauce.
The original Source, man.
Okay. Lost Boys or Onyx?
Ooh.
Ooh. Don't get in trouble. You may want to take a drink for that one.
Yeah, I got you. 'Cause I
But let me find out your sticky fingers.
You can't say
Because you
you know what, Mr. Lost Boys? Well, you know what? Mr. Cheeks was on our album, but
Mr. Cheeks was my dude.
Onyx used to be our barbers.
Yeah.
before they were.
I just interviewed Chief.
Really?
They
Yeah, they were
barbershop.
diversified.
They used to be
Yeah,
barbers.
Fredro was my barber before he made it.
Yeah. Right there by the Gertz Mall.
There's Mall.
That's wild.
Now we all
really
yo
wild.
shit.
I heard Onyx
Yo,
say
Queens to death.
Yo, that's
Yo.
Onyx say the story. I've never heard their actual clients talk about it.
Oh, they told you they were barbers, right?
Yeah, they did say that.
Yo, he zipped me on the back of my neck when I still got that thing right there on the back of my neck. Yeah, man.
He gave you a ring one?
I was like, yo, man, get out the studio, man. Can you hit this really quick, yo?
Holy shit. That is so
Shout out
dope.
to Onyx, man.
Yo,
Check out the
both-
archive, Drink
both
Champs.
of
They
them
got
rap
an episode.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, listen, like Waka Flocka's mom, Dab, who discovered Nicki Minaj, they four
Yeah,
houses
Bimmy,
away
Joe.
from us,
Yeah,
right?
they grew up
And
with 4 or 5
Bimmy,
houses down.
so
Yeah.
Bimmy,
We
you
grew up
know
with
Bimmy.
Bimmy.
Yeah, of course.
On this, so,
He been on the show.
so when Bimmy was when I was about 7, I think Bimmy was about 4. I hit him in my garage because I ain't have no brothers or sisters, and he was about 4, and I hit him in my garage, and my mom was like, "Who?"
That was Pop.
No, it wasn't Pop. Was
Yeah,
it
it's
brother?
Bimmy's little brother.
Oh, they were
Yeah,
like, yo,
Pop,
she was like,
Pop.
you got in the garage? I said, I got a pet in the garage, Mom. She's like, what you got in the garage? Now, Bimmy and Joe and all them, they got like 100 brothers and sisters. And they, you know, my mother was like, you got one of the Anthony's in the garage? But Deb, who Waka Flocka's mom's, like, we all grew up
they
with
all
Waka
family.
Flocka, and like, we all grew up with all these people, man.
Wow. I was on the other side too.
Oh, yeah. Karis one or Rakim?
Rakim.
Who was?
Rakim.
Rakim, baby. You kidding me?
All day.
I used to see that was like one of the first joints I could sing word for word.
I
Which
came
one?
in the door.
7 holes in my face and I'm looking at the window. Come on, man. The God.
God.
God, Rakim.
Rakim is a game changer.
Take 7 C's for the minute.
Wow.
Paid in full.
He's still the same.
Paid in full.
Just-
And he never cursed,
still
which is
the same.
crazy.
Right.
Because you swore he cursed.
You know, I went my whole life without not realizing that Rakim did not curse.
Yo, that's
I did not.
Yeah, that's the illest shit. He
No,
never
he-
cursed.
never
But
cursed.
that was the most gangsters music you ever heard.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know how I even discovered that recently. I was like, and I'm like, you're a liar. Rakim cursed. and I went through, and I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker didn't
Not just
curse.
did he not curse, it was gangster without him saying any gangster shit.
Gangster shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That part is also.
You know what we had on our Black Entrepreneurs Day that I never realized that Flavor Flav played 14 instruments.
Oh, he's a savant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the illest.
He's ill. I shot a video of Flavor Flav. Yeah.
Flav, we need you on Drink Champs, man. We had Chuck D, but we need Flav.
Huge Swifty. Kind of broke open reality shows with Flavor of Love.
Yeah,
one of the first people to go. I think he went platinum, right? Fear of a Black Planet. With
Public Enemy.
Public
No,
Enemy.
they
Public Enemy.
so mad records.
And what's crazy about Public Enemy, they was speaking like they speak the most black pride shit ever. You ever been to a Public Enemy show? You know how many people was there? You know most of the people was there?
White
audience.
I
that
remember
shit
that.
fucked my childhood up.
You believe it or not, there's a massive amount of people who are not African American that buy FUBU these days.
Huge.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's mad. Like we're one of the top in Manila, in Philippines. We're one of the top in Europe and stuff like that.
In Europe, throughout Europe,
it's fascinating how they love our culture. If you ever look at the Bob Marley movie,
right,
the first crowds they went to Europe. Remember, we watched it together.
Yes,
they went to Europe and they were hanging out with the crazy. Banging each other on the head, CBGB like crazy. They were getting ill fights to the white kids who were like, it's a lot of times those cultures, when you look at them, they adopt each other first.
Let me just tell y'all the fly shit that this guy did. Rented out the whole movie theater. I gotta support Bob. Right, so I'm trying to buy something. They're like, "No, sir, it's rented out. Everything is free." I was like, "Fly shit!" So I say that to say I still went out and seen the Bob Marley story because I felt like that wasn't supporting Bob Marley. It was like getting a screening, private screening, but I still had to go back. And by the way, I cried both times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Bob, man.
Yo, that movie.
I ain't see it yet.
Oh,
I gotta see it.
I don't work for the family or nothing. But listen,
I got
it is amazing.
Listen, that shit is. And what's crazy, like to hear your story and just say that you know that y'all dealt with hate, y'all dealt with all this shit too. All I hear is Bob Marley's beautiful music. Mm-hmm. And I realized I didn't know nothing about Bob, like personally, until I was interviewing Rohan. So I went and had to do that. And I was like, when I found out all the shit that Bob went through,
he went through
and made beautiful music.
Because it was revolutionary what he was doing.
He's supposed to make Bobby Smurda music, the shit he going through. He's supposed to be making Bob not kill everyone.
But in that era, it felt like that to the powers that be. It did feel that way.
And he was like, hey,
I love you.
One love. Like, not the shit that you're going through.
Right.
This is not more
People
than one
are scared of love. People are scared of unity. That's the thing.
And you know, it's so ill how our generation is so ill. My oldest daughter's 30.
Right.
And I show a picture, and that was the second I saw because I had the joy of seeing it at the thing, and I have a picture with the young man who played Bob.
Yeah.
You know what my daughter says? That's Ken from Barbie.
Yes, that's it.
He played another Ken in
I was
Barbie.
so offended when I found that out.
And she was like, who?
That's not.
That's wild.
That lets you know.
So shout out to that brother Kingston, who 1 minute he Bob Marley, the other minute he Ken.
Yeah, that's a good actor.
That amazing.
Yeah. That's a good actor.
You know, right now we talking about him. He gonna be whoever he is, man, because he already out of it.
And he's Obama in another movie.
No way.
He looks
he's
like him.
Obama in another movie. I saw it.
I'm sitting there.
Not a reality show, or like something. I seen him play Obama, so when I said they got Obama,
you know what?
playing.
That's how old I am. I thought that was his big shocker. When I took a picture with him, his head was bald. I said to myself, if I was him, I'd been working that Bob Marley shit. I would have been like this, walking around with a long
like,
ting and ting and ting. I would have been like, you know me.
By the way, you fucked me up because since that day, I've been running around with a Jamaican accent, and I realized that people don't find that funny.
Don't blame it on that day. You've been doing it on Drink Champs.
Who don't find it funny?
You're right. No. I turned it up. I went to Turk from
Who don't find
Bob
it? Who don't find it? Because my wife, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You just went to Paris. I saw you. Life is good. Hip hop's been really good to us, man. And I appreciate that because you show us how we have to have work-life balance.
That's right.
When I'm in Paris, my wife says to me that I'm culturally inappropriate when I'm like, how do you say? Is it?
Oh, you sure are. You sure are.
When you use the accent.
Oh, you sure are.
You don't use that accent
But
when
by
you
the
say
way-
it.
No, but I'm not. It's not like if I don't. If I'm not like. If not like I'm in an Asian country and I'm not saying the word. I'm going. You know, like hung hung hung.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going.
I can't help it.
Is
No,
cookie we
that's
call
hilarious.
it macaron?
That's not disrespectful.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. He's not lying. I can't help it.
You do the same shit.
Ask what you call Butch Rock right now.
What are you doing?
Every country we go to, I try to sound like
I was
that.
outside Eiffel Tower. I bought a red beret. I was out there, and this French dude said, "Yo, ain't no but the last person who wore that
We
was
don't
like
do that
200
here.
years ago."
Yeah.
You know, I got I love Paris, and I got an accent, man. Am I being culturally
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm telling
What
you.
is it? So
but
the-
I do it too. We are actually trying to show love, but we're being offensive.
So is it like somebody coming up to one of us going, "Yo, homeboy"?
Yo, yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly
And they
that.
happen not to be a homeboy.
It's exactly that.
All right,
kid
I
you
got
not.
it now.
And
All right, honey, you're right. I said
Don't do it in a Latin country. Don't do it in a Latino country.
I do it everywhere. I'm sorry.
But the French don't like us anyway.
Yeah.
They don't like anybody.
Yeah,
so
Sonny
they
told me
already,
some
they're
horror
already
stories. He told me
offended.
I got some hard stories about
Look,
France.
look,
If you're not from France,
It's not fun.
if you're not from France,
It took
you
me
are
20
offensive
years
to
to
them
know
no
how to
matter
move
what.
like
Don't walk up there
I don't have no
speaking
problem
English.
out there.
I don't have no problem out there. But
problem out there.
I know the people to call. I know the
Yeah.
drivers.
They don't like
I know
Americans. That we know.
I
Yeah.
mean,
They
by the
don't.
way, let me just tell you something. A lot of places don't like Americans.
That's true.
No, but they were the first. They were first.
Okay.
They were first in the comments.
I would think England was the first who didn't
No,
like
if
America.
if you're in France, you walk in the hotel and you say something in English, they will act like they don't know.
I know.
I ain't gonna lie.
No.
Depends
Back
on
in
which
the
hotel.
days,
Yeah,
but
back in
now,
the- now.
Maybe
everybody
now,
knows
yo.
English.
Yeah, now.
Because
They like this.
I just went there in November, and I was kind of apprehensive. I had the little app trying to translate, and
Right.
I was like, "You speak English?"
Right.
I sure do.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I heard they like it because they like tips, and we're
You know-
Americans are the only ones that really
No,
tip.
they just started liking tips. Yo,
But that's why I heard they
Yeah,
like.
they
They started
remember
to
one
speak English
time I
now.
tipped the guy. He says, "What is this?" I was just, "Give me back my money, motherfucker."
You being culturally
You
inappropriate.
What is this?
Why did you say what? Nobody. It's such a
France is not going to license drink champs.
it's such a sexy language you cannot help but
Not the way
want to.
we're saying it right
Yeah,
now.
no, we fucking it up. But
Well, then how come every time the people from overseas imitate Americans, they go, "Hey, y'all"?
Brother, man, brother.
yeah.
What's happening, brother?
All right.
We're going on track here.
It's perfectly on track.
NWA or Wu-Tang Clan?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Wu-Tang.
I knew your New York
Why
would
is
stand
that?
up for you.
No, it is. I mean, you got Raekwon, go
Yeah.
Come on,
Right.
man.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Let's be real.
No, you got
No
Ice Cube
disrespect
though.
to Eazy-E.
You got
Nah,
Ice
of course.
Cube, and then when he joined PE,
No, I
Do you
love
realize
like
they only did one album?
Scarface or Ice Cube?
Ice Cube all day.
Cormega or Nature?
Cormega.
Mobb Deep or MOP? You can drink.
Mobb
You
Deep.
can say
Mobb
both
Deep?
or neither.
Okay.
You ever gonna let them drink or not?
I'm not kidding. It is what it is.
Nah, I like
Mobb
that.
Deep, that's,
I like
that's,
that.
that's
Well, I
please,
like-
baby.
Heavy D or Chubb Rock?
Heavy D.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, he loved heaven.
Yeah.
Juice or New Jack City?
Nah, New Jack City.
New Jack City. All right, and this is the last question for Quick Time and Slime, and then we go back. Into
Not a
the
trick
interview.
question.
But it's not a trick question, but this is for all three of y'all. I'm going to start with you. But I want individually answer individually. Loyalty or respect?
Respect.
Any reason why or not? No.
Loyalty come and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect. If somebody really respect you, that respect should always be there or will always be there. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty won't always be there. You know, people change and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
No, hell yeah.
Loyalty.
Explain why?
I just been to so much in my life to where I realized that the loyal people in my life that really stuck with me through whatever the situation was, those are people that really matter. Now I can I can get disrespectful with a motherfucker anytime. But if I'm loyal to you, you know what I'm saying? That kind of oversees it. That kind of overlooks everything. If I trust you, I'm fucking with you forever.
The purpose of loyalty is loyalty. There is no come and go. It's to be loyal. That's it. I respect what Genghis Khan did as a leader. I would never do it. I would never rape and pillage. Loyalty is to be loyal. That's it.
I'm taking a drink to that. I'm taking a drink to. By the way, I agree with all three answers. So me and EFN, we always say
We just say, why not both?
that this is the only time when we play Quick Time with Slime that we should say both, because I think one washes the other. But I agree with what everything that you're trying to say.
Somebody.
I mean, I just want both at the same time.
All right, let's go.
Cheers.
There you go.
Now, at one point, FUBU, I think it was you who said it went like this, right? Me, this is what I say.
Thank you, designated drinkers.
Yes, thank you out there.
And
Me, I always said,
home.
my career is like that, right? There's been times where rock bottom, like whatever, as Nori, right? And I call it rap purgatory. Has it ever been a time where y'all felt like y'all was in fashion purgatory, where it's like, all right, cool, they ain't fucking with us no more? Did y'all ever feel like that?
Yeah, we saw it coming. You gotta remember, if you shipping $1 million a season to a certain retailer, and they come to you next season and order half of that, the next season they order a quarter of that, the writing's on the wall. So we had a sense of knowing that that things were turning around. Because they even told me, yo, Carl, we gonna have to do something about this. We got to do something else outside of this clothing shit, because this shit is about to hit the fan. This is like 5 years before it hit the fan. So the signs are there, but you just got to make the adjustments.
I want to though bring up a point of I don't want to make it a big sloppy wet kiss about FUBU. Because we didn't know also, we got cocky too. You know, we would sell what they call a pre-pack.
I dealt with that. I had a store.
So we sell.
It was the worst thing for a small business owner.
Right.
We would say,
I don't know what pre-pack is. Please,
I talked about it with April.
You got to take these 12 pair of jeans. There's 232s, 234, 236s up to.
I'm selling to high school kids who are skinny, and I was getting triple, quadruple X of these. But I'm like, I can't do nothing.
You know,
I don't know what y'all talk about. So
let's say his box.
Yeah, way over my.
Cost $500.
Okay.
He wanted $500 worth of size 32 and 34.
Right.
But we said to him, screw you.
Right.
We're not breaking open the box. I got the whole box from China or wherever it's from.
Right.
It's 12 pairs. You take the $500 worth because we're so hot, or you don't get it at all. We give it to your man across the street.
It was rampant. It wasn't just obviously you guys.
Right.
No, but yeah, true,
But I think that's cannibalizing our own industry within itself.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. Guys like this man would say, I ain't got no choice. Let me take them. So now what does he have to do? He takes them all. All the jeans are $100 a piece, supposed to sell at $100 a piece.
Yeah.
He got 100 pair of 42s and 40s that he can't sell. He puts them in a bucket over here and says, buy them for $25, kids.
Right.
You a kid, you walk in the store, you can't tell the difference of the $100 and the $25. And then guess what? The new hungry company come up, go, I'll give you many 32s as you want.
You want, yeah.
Now all of a sudden, we have a bunch of inventory and we got him, he's pissed off. We're like, yo, why so forth? Why you buying for so forth? He like, remember me, mister, you got to buy the whole box, homie?
Right.
Yo, matter of fact, I don't want to buy shit from you no more.
Wow.
We did that for a certain amount of years, not knowing any better because we didn't know what was about to happen.
Right.
Now, we build up all this inventory because we didn't know any better. And then all of a sudden, we like, no, that was a mistake, man. We break that box open. He like, too late, homie.
Yeah, we moved on to something else.
Too late.
Or our doors had to close.
Right.
And another retailer's gone.
Now,
And we weren't
the store.
yeah.
I missed the story Bruce told me recently. There was a time where an independent store couldn't get credit.
That's what it was. That's exactly how we were told we get credit by buying the prepaid.
Right. So what happened was
break that down,
Republic
please.
is the bank that gives independent stores credit.
Right.
So what Republic told us is, yo, we getting so many calls to buy a FUBU. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give every store that calls, we're gonna give them $20,000 in credit. Whether they get good credit or bad credit, we're gonna give them that shot.
Right.
So with that being said, with us the sales is that made us go from $10 million to $20 million.
It also gave us the power to give neighborhood stores credit. That never were able to
But
have.
with that arrogance, we said in order for you to buy our stuff, you gotta buy it in these packages. And it kind of caused some.
And we couldn't sell those.
And it shows that no matter who you are, no matter who you are, if you don't treat your customer right, and if that was our customer, and you don't treat them right, sooner or later, you're going to put them out of business, or they're going to put you out of business.
Because then what happens in return is they put other brands in
and because somebody else comes and says, "Yo, somebody's not fulfilling this man's needs."
All right.
And I'm small, and I don't even have 12 packs.
All right.
You know,
how many sizes you need?
So like, I remember me going in Costco's, right? And I remember me looking for a product and not being able to find it because it was all the way in the back. Is that something that happens in the fashion world? Is that something that actually matters?
Yeah, retail. The placement. That is huge.
Real estate.
That is real estate.
Well, it all depends.
Okay.
Merchandising and real estate.
All right.
So it all depends. You're talking about grocery. Grocery and Costco is different, right? Because the whole purpose of what's going to be in the back. What's going to be in the back? Milk, eggs, meat, and things you need. Because you got to go to the back so you can pass everything to buy everything else, and then you're going to pass it all to buy that. But what you're talking about is merchandising and all that kind of stuff. When you see like big department stores you don't make any money off a big department store. So a big department store, they're not selling clothes. A big department store is selling real estate. So if you go and look at the Ralph Lauren section in there, Ralph Lauren paid for all that wood. They paid for the person selling it to you.
All the tables.
They're paying for the people in there.
That's how that goes.
Ralph Lauren is paying for every one of the
billboard.
Ralph Lauren is paying for the windows. Every time you see the stuff in the window, their job is to sell real estate. You don't make money in there. So when you launch a fragrance, you got to pay $22 or $25 per person you see going like this in the store, going like this. Hey, smell this, smell that.
Them motherfuckers.
They're selling everything. So what happens is, and that's why they say clothing company. I mean, they say retailers like that get really religious because what they tell you to do is spend $1 million on putting stuff in the window, putting stuff in the circular. People there, put your stuff on wheels because if your shit don't sell, we're gonna mark it down and roll that shit right out of the back door. And that's where they make their money on all of that. They don't care about the clothes. They're selling to us.
We gonna buy the real estate.
And that's why we tell everybody here who's watching the show, be your own distributor online, direct to your customer. Because even when you want to be in those stores, who bought it? Once they go past the register, who bought it? Was it a mother buying it for herself? Did she buy it for a kid? Was it a gift? You don't know who they are. So now we want people here who watch this to sell their own shit themselves online. You don't have to set up no store. Direct to consumer, so you can say, how did you like it? How did you not like it? What should I do better? And that's the important part. That's why technology has democratized this entire
world.
world.
The data of your customers,
Like when me and you was talking about it earlier. I had Kanye on the show, right? And I went and hung out with him, and then. So I brought him to a place called Zzz's, which is ironic, right? There was this whole big space open next to Zzz's, and Ye just looked at it and was like, "Balenciaga." I swear to God, And then he put a Balenciaga in there. 2 floors. I had never seen no dumb shit like this. I mean, this was some because he stopped and was just like.
Remind me of
like, by the way, it's nothing there.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing there. Right. I just described Zzz's to him like, yo, this is a place we're safe. You know what I mean? There's no hood shit going on. I'm a member of the club. You know what I mean? Boom. And he's seen it, and it made me say, like, damn, why don't we do things like that? Like, what I mean by that is, FUBU, right now, if we go to FUBU, we have to go through somebody else, right?
No, you go right.
No,
there.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, if I wanted to go to the store, why isn't FUBU stores?
Those are. That's a great
Yeah.
point. Those are different businesses.
Okay.
So you have to have an
Right.
operator
Okay.
because we're not good retail operators. That's like saying to I don't know what you do here.
Right.
That's like I don't know how they do the carrier of the broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So a store is a different, like we know how to make clothes. We know how to make them good. Da, 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 da. To own a retail shop,
Brick and mortar,
art.
right.
you have to know
It's not-
how to put it up there. The software, the shipping the goods in, shipping goods out, taking goods back, customer service,
Never mind the lease of the place.
the
How
lease
long
of the place.
is
So
gonna
they're
be for.
different.
Being a retail is a whole different
insurance.
So what he did was probably he already knew the Balenciaga because they have different divisions and it's licensing, like we said. That's exactly what we did. Like we had FUBU stores and we still do in certain countries. But it's somebody who's an expert operator. They have 10 Donna Karan stores. They have 10 FUBU stores. They have 10 this, 10 that. So that's why, because you don't want to get the way to. Disney does not own all of it. They license it. When you see Mickey
Them
Mouse,
stores?
yeah, well, a lot of it would be Disney. Some would be Disney store, but they'll license out. Think about all the licenses Disney have. You can get keychains all the way. They're not making that stuff. They're licensing that out.
You can get like Star Wars everything. That's because they're licensing. And that's Disney.
Like even when you saw Daymond with the Marvel.
Right.
That was a licensing deal we did with Marvel.
Yeah, because I helped license that to Actively Black, right? So it's all about licensing is the quickest way to grow your brand, extend your brand, and revenue.
Can I ask a quick? This is going to be a little bit of a veer off, but talking about licensing Marvel for the average. Let's say there's a person creating their own brand and they want to license a big brand like a Marvel or a Star Wars. How difficult is that?
Extremely difficult. You gotta come to me. You gotta come to somebody like me.
You got it now. You just
You gotta come to somebody like me who can talk to them, who say, give this young person a shot.
Because you have to have sales and all that. You got to be popular to even have that conversation.
And a lot of times you're not even communicating with Marvel. You're communicating with someone that already holds the license.
But let me give you something that you guys do. Think about George Lucas when he sold his brand.
Mm-hmm.
He sold Star Wars, the George Lucas brand. He sold it to Disney.
To Disney, right? We love his story.
Content, right? Star Wars, right? How much do you think it sold for? Anybody want to go?
Was it a billion?
3.8 billion.
Right.
Right?
Which he regrets, kind of.
You know how much Peppa Pig sold for? 4.2 billion.
Shit, well, Bluey better
I don't know what Peppa Pig
handle it
is.
because Bluey's bigger than Peppa Pig now.
I don't want to be
I got little kids, so I know.
culturally inappropriate and talk like Peppa Pig.
No,
so
please don't like Peppa Pig. It's okay.
Started on YouTube.
Yeah.
All of Star Wars. Darth Vader, Obi, the whole family. The whole IP, 3.8
Future
billion.
stories,
Peppa
stories.
Pig on YouTube for a cartoon of a pig, because of licensing all the toys and everything, $4.2 billion.
I don't see how that was smart though. Because Peppa Pigland and Legoland is terrible. Well, actually, that's the only thing good about Legoland.
I don't even know who Peppa
And I
Pig
got
is.
kids. I got little kids, so I'm in it.
Oh, I know
I've
you.
been here long.
I'm lost right now.
I know you. You gonna know who Peppa Pig is. And you gonna
Bluey's selling for $20 billion. Bluey's off
you
the
gonna be
chain.
having a Peppa Pig accent next time.
I'm completely lost.
What
Y'all don't know about
drink
Bluey either?
champ?
No Bluey?
Nah,
No
I'm
Bluey?
good.
Nothing?
I know
You
Bluey.
Bluey's off the chain.
There you
Disney
go.
bought Bluey though.
Oh, my kid's grown.
So anybody here has an IP, an idea, something else like that, the idea is to do the best you can of it and create a core audience and go to somebody else and say, let me tell you something. I know exactly what 18 years old to 25 years old want, who make about this amount of income, who watch this amount of time, because you have the analytics. And then you can say to somebody, once you give them that information, you can say, now you can replicate this in the other areas that they like and they love. And that's exactly what we've been able to do with FUBU and have great partners. And you got other people who say, you know what? I make the best peanuts in the world, but I don't have something like a Drink Champs to say, do you want, when you're drinking, some great salty snacks?
Peanut Champs?
I want the Drink Champ peanuts. Whenever you're drinking, what you gonna need?
Fat Joe, let's just take the car.
I'm gonna go back.
I'm filming Drink Champs for FUBU. I'll be there
my
tomorrow.
Rewind, Fat Joe.
Rewind our time.
I'm about to not rewind.
One of the
We'll be there. We pull up on you. I hit you as soon as I finish.
Fat Joe's one of the first stores to ever buy our stuff, and we were bringing it to his store in the Bronx in the back of our trunk.
Yeah.
And Fat Joe,
I used to take them to our warehouse, pick out the clothes for them, and count all the money in cash. It take me like freaking 8 hours.
we only sold to 8 stores in New York, and Fat Joe was the 4th store in New York City to ever buy our stuff, and we were still in the house making it at first. And he used to come out and he was a legend and still is a legend to me, and be like, "Yo, man, all right, I'll buy your shit. Let's just buy it."
All cash, no credit. All cash.
All cash.
I guess I would call
All
it
cash.
crack.
Let's make some noise and jokes on the street.
He didn't have a problem with credit. He didn't have a problem with credit.
It's definitely still street money. That's right. I'm just playing around. So you guys just said something for a person that's trying to be the next FUBU, right? And what I mean, I don't mean it like the statement FUBU, like owning and being independent, but actually trying to make clothes. You guys don't make the clothes yourselves, do y'all?
We make some of them. We still make some of it now. We always make.
Like by hand, or how does this work? Like I'm asking. Like
I ain't gonna go knit you no blanket in the background.
Yeah.
We still make a portion of it, but we have like maybe 35 different. We have a great suit division,
Merchandise team.
That's right. I gotta see.
We get to the point to where we hire people to get it to different stages of approval. So
Okay.
we'll have the cast come in first. Okay, we like the general look of the season.
Right.
Then you get the samples come in. Okay, we like how these samplers make these changes. By the time we get to production, then we ship it to the stores. So we kind of oversee the whole process until it gets shipped to the stores.
But to simplify for people watching,
Yes.
if you have an intellectual property and you have registered your name, not just on a website, you went to the United States Trademark of the USPTA, United States Patent Trademark Office. You put your name in a category. So your name would be Drink Champs, and it could probably be in liquor, it could be in everything else, right? There's a category. Don't just say your website. Because if you say, well, I got the Drink Champs website, or you go, listen, my son's name is, Todd. I'm going to name my clothing brand Todd. Well, I always say, well, my next son's going to be named Apple, and my next son after that's going to be named BMW. You can't just say that. Once you get the category, whoever you are, you can license your name to somebody. You can go to Middle America right now. You look up and down the street, like Main Street everywhere. It's empty. Nobody's buying stuff. Nobody's going to those stores. Those stores all have inventory. Right. If you were a kid and you know that you're super fashionable, you're going to say, hey, my name is whatever it is. This is who my IP is, intellectual property. I'm going to do a TikTok with all your inventory in my store, and on my site. I know you already got the goods. You're going out of business. Give me 50% of what I sell. Right. And you start naming it your brand. That brand could be the new Century Forever 21, that brand, right? And so what I'm trying to tell people is they can license their name as small as they are, create a name for themselves with their following, and make money. You can do it on Amazon too.
Right.
You ever see when you put in some name and it says sponsored?
Right.
That's just somebody who sees that you're making this, and they take it and they get an affiliation, and then they direct their traffic to you. And you get that cigarette or that whatever the case is, and they make money. So I'm trying to explain the best way to everybody watching this. They can do exactly what we did. They can start off today and be the next, I don't know who you want to call it, Target.
But don't get it twisted. Licensing and like Daymond said, covering these categories is expensive. We spend close to $300, maybe $500,000 a year just protecting our brand legally.
Legal fees
around the world.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to just have your brand protected everywhere. Choose where you think your best markets will be and grow as you can. You can't protect it everywhere.
You know how you can't protect it around the world? Remember the show we used to love, In Living Color?
In Living Color.
There was a band called In Living Color.
Yeah, the rock band.
The rock band. They, In Living Color, the TV show, didn't want to, because In Living Color, they were entertainment. In Living Color, the TV show is entertainment. In Living Color, the TV show didn't want to pay, and they got into a fight, and they said, shut it down.
Who had it first?
In Living Color, the band.
And they had a fight over the name?
Yeah, and that's why they had to cancel In Living Color.
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
didn't
No
know
way.
that.
They had to cancel because of that?
I'll give you another example.
No.
I didn't
Let me
know
give you
that.
another.
Protecting the brand is-
Let me give you another example. This is legal Eagle stuff. Our buddies, the ones who created the company, Jordache and Guess and stuff like that, they come to us. They had licensed our ladies. They come to us and they show us something, and it's two horses, two horses. And I'm like, what is that? They're like, this is a U.S. Polo Association. We've said, well, that's Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren goes, you're intruding on my mark. I'm going to take you to court. They go to court. Judge looks at them and goes, all right, when you can no longer do business, you're done. Get out of here. Ralph Lauren goes, good. See, get out. He says, no, Ralph. They bought United States Polo Association from the United States Polo Association that's 100 years old, who've been making clothes for 100 years old. They can cancel your mark. So what happens now is U.S. Polo Association doesn't have to advertise, market, do anything they ever want to do.
Live over there. See?
And they do $6 billion a year.
People buy that shit?
Yeah, they buy that.
And Ralph Lauren does all the advertising.
So it's whoever has
because
it
they said,
longest?
go ahead, homeboy, you can play with it. The judge don't care about who's
So
fly.
whoever has it the longest,
God.
They
I
take
don't
that
be
into
lost.
consideration. Yeah.
Same thing happened to 7 of all mankind.
You can prove
Somebody
you
had
had it.
number
Wait,
7.
They take that into
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things.
Yeah, we blowing my mind. Wait.
And I feel like we gotta dumb it down for layman's us.
Yeah, me.
Meaning us.
That shit was
can I
too
just
deep.
throw something real quick?
Hold on.
Like, does a poor man's copyright work in that sense for time stamping? Remember the poor man's copyright? You just send it to yourself in the mail, the idea?
That kind of works, but not as much anymore, because what had happened years ago was there was a guy who looked at every type of movie and said, wow, air brakes, wow, this, that, and sent in a whole bunch of trademarks. And that was earlier on, and many years ago.
These titles?
He trademarked everything he saw in a movie. And he just sent in a letter and said, lightsaber. This, that. And what had happened was that's why it depends on you're talking about a patent, a trademark,
Right.
and or
You
you have
gotta prove that
to prove that you're actually using that.
Yeah.
So was he successful, that person?
He was. He ended up making billions of dollars off of trademarking things he saw in every single movie for the next 50 years.
And no court could see through that scam?
It wasn't a scam at first. The law changes against this and that. And that's why you see that a lot of brands have expiring patents and trademarks. Now, there's difference with copyright. There's difference with trademark.
Right,
there's difference
right.
with patents and everything else. But the bottom line is, I've seen it even on Shark Tank. 1 or 2 of my companies on Shark Tank, they could never, after all the advertising, all the marketing of that name they had, they didn't have it protected. Somebody else said cease and desist, and they took all the traffic after they got onto Shark Tank, and they made millions of dollars.
They'll take all your shit.
So what's the ultimate protection in your
The bottom,
in your
the
opinion?
protection is exactly what Nori has said in the past. It's to make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's and understand the fundamentals of when you build a business, that you have your contracts in order, as we talked about. You can be in there with the family, but Keith knows his deliverables in our deal. Carl knows, and I know, right? In every relationship, you cannot be 50-50. One has to make a decision. 51-49. You have to have all of your stuff trademark and patent, because they say that for African Americans, the number one organization that puts them out of business, and not intentionally, it's the IRS. Because you don't understand what the fundamentals are and the basic of taxes and various other things. So if you start off a business, you're already African American, so you're getting discriminated against, so your loans are higher cost, right? Plus, you're getting paid less. And then if your stuff is not in order, well, the government can't discriminate. They just have to do what they have to do. So everything from your trademarks to all that. We learned this the hard way.
But what you described before is an operational agreement, right? Between partners.
It's an operation agreement, a DBA, whatever you want to call it. You have to have these things in writing. And you had said it in some other past stuff that you learned the mistakes you had made. You went in and got an attorney. And today, Rocket Lawyer and various other companies, you can look at these agreements and get them online. And don't go spend all your money with your man who's just giving you advice.
Right.
Go online and look at this shit and set yourself up from the beginning, and then understand how to dissolve it and various other things.
I always say 51%, try to keep 51%, and try to be hold management position in your company, which means you make the final call.
If you sell it, you still run it.
No, if you the bottom line is when there comes a situation where a decision has to be made, you get the final call. Mm-hmm. So that's.
But how do equal partners do that?
You do that in an operational agreement.
Because an operation agreement can be like this. Listen, you're going to fund all the clothes and I'm going to be able to sell it on. You can never sell it to, lower end stores. Then the person over here goes, okay, but if it stays in my warehouse 90 days, I can sell it to who I want. Okay. Every agreement can be,
And I'm going to keep it gully. The only reason FUBU is still around is because Daymond was able to, even at that young age, negotiate or had advice to negotiate a position where they couldn't get rid of us, our investors. The bottom line is we're still around because we have to be around.
They wanted to get rid of you guys?
No, they never wanted.
Not saying they wanted to.
They were open to it. It was out of ignorance, though. It was like they were ignoring us for a couple of calls, and when I finally got on the when they finally had called us back, I was like, "Yo, you better do it." And they was like, "Listen, calm down. We'll do a deal that we'll make sure is good for you." Yeah. And the funny thing is, I brought my mother in the room with the deal, and a lot of people had laughed that I brought my mother. My mother, but my mother is very brilliant, and a lot of us, we have significant others, mothers, and I was like, so what? I brought my mother. Why can't she be a brilliant woman? Right. What's wrong with that? Right? But we have great partners. But you're right, and vice versa. We can't.
A lot of companies not around because they didn't own that company. When that entity decided to sell it, they had no say so.
It's kind of like being a rapper.
Right.
Yo, man, I just want to get the deal. Don't want to get my shit out.
That's it.
Right, you get the record deal.
And the wrong people will dangle the wrong things in front of your face. And so a lot of us are so busy. You see it on Shark Tank. They're so busy wanting to do the deal that they're not thinking about what's in it for you? What's in it for me? What's the end game? I just want to get it past this point. And as African Americans who don't come from wealth, we often are just so happy that the hustle may be over and we're getting to this point that we don't look backwards at how did I get here and what could I risk? You know?
What am I giving up? Yeah.
The bootlegging. How bad was that at one point?
Bad.
The bottom line, we was hot. So it was on one end of the spectrum, it was a blessing because you that hot. So
how's it a blessing? Explain to the
people. Because the bottom line is
that ass whipping I got on 28th Street with the bootleggers wasn't the blessing. I tell you that, goddammit.
But the bottom line, if you hot, people gonna top you.
He blessed you.
No, that wasn't the blessing.
But the bottom line is when did they stop bootlegging us?
When it wasn't hot anymore.
They never did.
So the bottom line is
I didn't hear that part. What you said?
When they stopped bootlegging us, that was the problem because now we wasn't hot no more.
The thing about it like this, you can get Louis Vuitton anywhere in the streets, right? Whatever. But there's no one. When people bootleg you, there's no one bootlegging.
Right.
There is the factory you're working with is making an extra 10 million.
They make it extra good.
Yeah, the real
if you order 12 jeans, they're gonna order 20
when they bootleg us as rappers, we just think it's Muhammad from 125th.
No, it's at the factory.
They're recording your real records, right? They're duplicating them. That's what they're saying.
I think they're ignoring this ass whooping I got on 28th Street.
Wait, you got ass whooping?
Yes. He said, "Yo." He said,
"You got that."
No, he said, "Yo."
Literally,
I hired some correction officers to go down there and take our bootlegger stuff down on 28th Street. I'm like, okay, cool. Get our stuff. Man, half an hour later, yo, come get me. Come help us out. They got us surrounded. So he said,
Africans, I feel like these is Africans.
I don't know.
These is like,
My man said, yo, we got to go help the guys, man. They down on 28th Street. So we go down there. We go down there. My cousin is down there. And one of our other boys is down there.
Your cousin's down there who took a bag out of the room.
So you keep saying that. I told you that's not the story.
Okay.
But listen, they down there with 250 people, at least 200, 300 people surrounding them. My dumb ass go over there because my cousin over there, I got to go make sure he's straight. I don't know what happened to them. I ain't never looked back. Apparently,
there's a lot going on.
I goes over there. Next thing you know, there's rocks, there's bottled water.
Are you in America?
Nah, you guys,
I'm telling you, they.
Them Eastern
can I
cats.
tell you
By the way,
he-
Penalty Records was on 28th
Listen,
Street.
He's jumping around. I'm gonna tell you the story.
Okay.
He's right. So what happened? We had about 20 off-duty correctionals. We go down 28th 7th Street. Everybody coming out of that building is from Middle East because we start packing up about 2-3 trucks. We have an order that says you're supposed to surrender these goods because they're all counterfeit. We're packing up the trucks. Something goes bad in that building, and just like uptown, these people all start pouring out. I'm like, yo, Keith, we're in the Empire State, and that's where our office is. I said, come down the block. We need somebody to help drive the trucks. Keith is like, all right, I got you coming down. We have 20 correction officers. These dudes are coming out of the building. The correction officer pulls his gun. Yo, free! This dude, like Arnold Schwarzenegger side said, shoot me. And I'm prepared to die. Clock dude. Yeah. Keith come down. This is for FUBU. Keith come downstairs. Yo, I got you. He doing all this shit. I'm like, yo, Keith, we paying these dudes with guns, these big dudes. Let's get out of here. No, I'm gonna keep it real. All right, keep it real, homie.
You about to do blood sport?
When I turn around, you ever seen the Dave Chappelle? When keep it real goes wrong. That's what happened. He was like this.
He got his ass beat.
He started stretching down. He started out like that. Come on. That's what happened.
Yeah, I went down there to help my peoples, man. That's how I built, man. I went down there.
All right, so I forgot where we
Got
were
my
about
ass
intellectual
beat.
property, but yeah, somebody whipped his
Was
ass.
he doing the 52 pickups and Ray?
Yo, I got this big dude, son.
Taliban.
Oh shit!
Anyway,
You ain't do the crane, right? You ain't do the dinosaur.
No, when it was crazy, I'm gonna tell you it was crazy. The dude that hit me, I was handling my business. I was handling my business. On anybody else, I was handling my business.
Right.
And I went to step back, and you know that turn where you step back and then you go to turn back? Yo, this dude called me from the back. I didn't even see him. Boom, he hit me, right? So I go down like this, and my head come back up, and he hit me on the other side. So my feet just start moving like this. Oh, shit, what hit me? So I go over here, and I turn around. This dude like 6'7". He got on I never forget, I swear to God. The nigga got on a yellow Gold's Gym t-shirt with the titty out. You know, he got their nipples out over down here. And he got on some tight ass fucking jeans and shit. He look like he playing fucking pocket pool with his nuts in his jeans and cowboy boots. But I'm looking at him. He's a dude from over there somewhere. I never see him dressed like that. I swear to God. I looked up, I said, oh man, you didn't knock me out? And yo, looked like he be in the gym all day. So one eye is bloodshot red, so I want to fight now. Cause I'm like, okay, let's get it on. You can't knock me out. You prove that.
What?
Let's go. Then his little minions start coming, all the little minions. So I'm like, oh man, I see a band down the block.
Movie, man. Like,
I see a band down the block.
I told you he remember everything.
Yo, I run down the block. I said, I get my back to this van, I'm good. I turn around, like 20 people, like just swinging. I go down, they start stomping and kicking. Next thing I know, police, it was like a riot, bro. It was like 200 police out there, everything. They come put the handcuffs on me. I went straight Hollywood. I don't know what happened. I just came down here. Yo, straight Hollywood. They took me out of handcuffs. I go back. These niggas, they in the office like this. What the fuck happened to you, son? I told you don't go over there. I'm like this. Yo, but it was crazy, man.
All of the story.
It just so many.
But why did they want to fight y'all? What was the reasoning?
Somebody stole.
They were making a lot of money from counterfeit goods.
Right.
We had permission to go confiscate those goods. And that was the wrong decision.
Somebody sold a counterfeit tray of
operation.
Rolexes.
Right. Wow.
And they started pocketing them.
We went there.
And old boy was behind the curtain like, yo.
It's an organized system out there.
When they got downstairs, it was a
They
rap.
make a lot of money. Counterfeiting is a huge business.
So to say about the counterfeiting stuff, factory is running 10 million more, throwing it out the back. Another factory competing is making more goods. Then you got people who bring in 1 million white T-shirts and they got a line going like this, and they're going, Tommy, FUBU, Nike, Donna. It's coming from all places. And when you spend all your money and time trying to fight it, you can't even put a dent in it. But when you look at somebody like Louis Vuitton, who's the biggest company in the world, LVMH, they're counterfeited all day. And actually, a lot of the people buying the counterfeit would never touch the brand anyway, because they don't have the money for it. They don't have $2,000.
So is that the moral of the story? That
the moral of the story,
matter?
you cannot stop it.
What you can do is make your goods a quality that differentiates from that,
and you can't stop.
That's what helped us out.
Because it kind of sucks to say that your Louis Vuitton and your price point is up here, and the regular folks can't get it, so they have to go bootleg. That kind of sucks.
That happened because what happened when we grew up as kids. Remember, we can wear a blank shirt and not get full, now whatever. When you started to, all the brands and labels, and we became so label conscious, you couldn't go to school without something on.
Right, absolutely.
And that's what it is. So, it is a compliment, but it's a challenge. It's something that you would have to spend a lot of your profit going after something you can never stop.
You get your shit bootleg around all over the street. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
But
once they stop, you're doing something wrong.
But let me ask you, because we spoke about it a little bit earlier. I had just went to Paris, right? And one thing that I noticed is, it seems like if Louis doesn't sell their shit, they give it away.
Do they?
Give it away.
They burn it.
They burn it.
Yeah, that's what I meant, right?
You'll never see Louis on discount.
Oh no, I never did.
Yeah.
But I remember times of me looking and seeing ladies with Louis garbage bags and everything with Louis. I'm talking about bums out there, like out there, and I'm looking, and I could almost tell the real Louis or the fake Louis. I could almost tell, and everybody got Louis out there, and there's no way everyone is rich out there.
Right.
Is it easier for it to be like that, like just in New York, because FUBU is a New York-based brand, and say, you know what, fuck it. Instead of y'all bootlegging my shit, why don't we just give it to y'all at a lower price?
No, that devalues.
No, we exploit that.
That devalues, I believe.
That option,
Okay.
but the bottom line is it devalues your brand. So
Wow.
because you got to remember, you selling to Macy's at a certain price. They got to keep it at a certain price to make their margins. And
Right.
you got somebody right outside in the street.
Yeah, like when he was a retailer, why would he then invest in buy it? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And
Because I would think that would be easier, right? To like stop the bootlegger. It's like, you know what, fuck it. You got it. Let me give you the real shit at a discount.
No.
Nah.
The discount that they getting it is you can't even
And it's
touch that.
discounted because they do less production. They
Yeah,
don't
we
put
putting
the
too much
work in.
quality in our clothes.
I'm imagining you have to equate all of that into the business model. And the
I ain't think of
equivalent
that.
in our world of that is people taking our content, ripping it, and posting it,
Same
and
thing.
monetizing it.
Yeah. Same
And
thing.
we have to play a game of whack-a-mole to say, no, copyright. And you
it's
can't really get everybody.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
That's it.
And at the end, if you're popping, you kind of want that to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the minute you're not popping, they're not going to go ahead and put out your content.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's crazy.
What's one thing besides 28th Street shit? But what's one thing that you could?
That was pretty wild, man, by the way.
You wish you would want to do as FUBU?
One thing I wish I want to do as FUBU?
Redo. Like if you something like a mistake that you made that you wish that you could do over.
I would go and do the 106 in Park job I got offered. It was supposed to be me and Free.
Wow.
And
You supposed to be Bobby Brown early. You supposed to lead the group early.
But I chose, it was the time frame for me, because we was just building FUBU, and that was we used to go to work from like 10 to 8. BET wanted me from 11 to 7. So I was like, well, damn, how do I?
I mean, couldn't it have worked for the brand as well for you to do that?
I don't even remember that.
I mean, you wear FUBU every day on the set.
It could have, but I just chose not to do it and stay with my dudes and You know, but if I had the chance all over again, I definitely would.
You know how
did
much
that
we paid
because-
Terrence J to wear us?
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Are you kidding me? We could have taken that out of distribution.
You're the wild one for that
I
one.
love y'all, man.
But I didn't want to, like, we was building something and we've been working
Nah,
on
I
this
get
shit
what- I
for
get
so
what you-
long.
yeah.
So now when we made it, then it's like,
It's easier in
yeah, I'm gonna
hindsight
be
to
there.
figure it out.
I'm gonna get secondhand knowledge,
Right.
but I'm not gonna get that feeling that we're doing it together.
I get it.
And that's why I kind of say, you know what, I'm gonna stick with my guys
Right.
and pass that up. You know what I'm saying? And plus the money was good at that time. It was we was caking, so it was good. But I wish I could have did that because then I would have played it for our advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because
So-
you would have been essentially helping the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
didn't-
you
I
could've
didn't-
parlayed that
that's-
too.
every day.
You know, that I didn't have that knowledge back then.
Right.
But because years later, I was like, damn. You know?
Yeah, I can see that now. Because
Yeah.
and especially if you would have been wearing FUBU every day, it would have just totally made sense.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you would think that you would do that you
At the
regret?
time, I think because I was always one that really felt that FUBU can exist in different areas in the industries. But I think that moving into more investments earlier, when you really had the resources to do it earlier, I think time I would have gave myself a little bit more. I would have acted earlier when it come to real estate, when it come to acquiring other companies, using those resources sooner. Other than that, though, I think that we only a 30-year-old company. You know,
Right.
company's been around for hundreds of
Hundreds of
years.
years.
But
So
then there's some
we-
companies that have been around for no years,
Right,
and
exactly.
they out.
So we-
They
I
got
think
6
Tech
months.
companies.
We've proven our ability to stay here. So now I think it's a great time for us to really move into these places and deal with. I didn't know about investment capital groups and investment
Right.
bankers and all these things like that.
Right.
I know that our brand now can be leveraged in these arenas to bring in this revenue to do these things. So I would have liked to do it earlier, but I think right now is a great time to do it.
And I'm cool. Ask FUBU.
I somewhat agree with Carl because, you know, I didn't have financial intelligence. None of us did. And for the first, I almost went bankrupt twice before we had FUBU and once when we had FUBU. When I made the first bulk of money in FUBU, you know, I spent it. And straight up.
Wait, say that again?
I spent it,
spent
but I
his
didn't,
money.
I didn't even spend it on just straight lavish. I just didn't know how money worked. And the biggest thing in this world or in this country, the way that you get wealthy in this country is to understand tax codes, tax, and what to do. And what I learned later on is that as I was running the company, we have great partners and distributors who are trying to teach it to me. But as a young man coming into money, where I started really making my money is all the things I bought, all the homes, all everything else. Later on, when I get rid of it in 2006 and money that I kind of put away a little bit in investment, that scaled crazy. And I had 7 times that amount prior that I blew. And so you look as I talk to a lot of billionaires and people we know, well, you'll look at a billionaire and a billionaire will, and they used to always walk around with those old sketch pads. You remember those things, those pads we had in school that are black and white. You gotta fill out the cover. I used to always say like a billionaire friends, like even Mark Cuban. I'll be like, well, what are you writing down? Oh, I just heard about a new tax
I
code.
don't got that many billionaire friends. I'm sorry.
You know, I've been fortunate enough, and we've been fortunate enough. Not even billionaire. They would write down. So I said, "What are you
left rack, right?
What are you writing down?" Oh, well, I just heard about this new tax code. So just give you a quick example. You know, 2 years ago when COVID happened, right? When we were getting out of COVID, the IRS had passed for that COVID act that if you go to a restaurant and you support a restaurant for a business meal, that's a 100% tax write-off.
Nigga, where I was at? You ain't
Now,
tell me.
let me show you how the tax code works, or the tax works. If you go to a hotel at that time, and you put your food on the room key at the hotel, that's only 50% write-off because it's under the hotel. But if you took out your credit card separately and laid it down on the restaurant, it's 100% write-off. So you just probably realize that if you spent
I did that yesterday.
Tell us that stuff.
it's
I
about
don't even think our accountants
know you.
tell us this
only,
stuff.
but
He ain't tell me neither.
It's like I need AI to help me get this.
but you got the point right there. when we first made money and we were talking, we were just like, we were so happy we were making money. The accountants don't tell us that because they think we know. They're just trying to do it. And because, you know, when all of us talk about accounting and stuff, your eyes get glossy. Yo, am I going on an extension? What are you talking about? I never said, what's up? And they never said, hey, or did they used to say something like, hell, you need to know that? I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was putting business expenses on personal cards. All that. So when I talk to billionaires and really wealthy people, they go, listen, if I made $500 million this year or $500 million in my businesses this year, now I can either be under these tax implications. I can't even say the word implications.
And you haven't been drinking, about
exactly.
But he's drunk, though.
But I'm dyslexic.
They making me drunk.
But I'm dyslexic. They said if I do $500 million, $500 million, I can either spend $250 million and give that back to the IRS. I can try to start a new business. Or I can try to save as much taxes legally where I only give them back 150 and I keep whatever, right? I already made the money. Why am I paying it in taxes if I utilize these tax codes? You want me to start a new business, get new employees, hopefully market it, maybe make money, or instead of paying $250, I pay $150. I made $100.
I feel like I've been math class.
It's not about how much you make; it's how much you retain. And when you have businesses and stuff like that, and earlier on FUBU days, the money in the operation, as Carl said, to acquire more stuff and do more things. $350 million running through a system. Let's say we're distributing 20, 30 million of that a year, and we're paying 15 million in taxes. We could have maybe paid 5 million in taxes and taken that other 10, rolled it into the business. It's almost like anybody here who knows real estate. If you sit there and buy sell a certain property, if you do a 1021 exchange or something like that, you don't have to, right? If you have stocks right now, if you went into Apple and you sell your stock and it went up 2 times in the last, I don't know how many, if you sell it under a year, you pay a normal tax, right? 45%, 50%. If you sell it in a year and a day, you pay only 20% because that's capital gains. All these are just basic fundamentals that as African Americans and yellow and black people and brown people, a lot of us don't understand. And that's where the difference of wealth is, because if you do that over 20 years, and if I would have learned that earlier when we had FUBU, we could have been LVMH as far as
going public and all these other things that we just understand.
It's always about, and the people who have this knowledge are willing to tell you.
Yeah.
We just so busy trying to buy cars when we were kids.
Shit.
That we didn't know any better.
Shit.
But the good side of it is we have gone through that. FUBU is still here.
Yeah.
We still have a consumer base. And I think even now the meaning of FUBU is bigger than when we started. So leveraging that, I think, going forward and dealing with the knowledge that we have and dealing with real bankers and investment groups and really bringing in, projects that's going to last a lifetime.
Right.
We should have had $1 billion fund of FUBU to acquire and or partner with all emerging brands in any category and give them our back end. Right. And thank God that our partners ended up showing us and we learned off each other, because once I started learning this, I got so excited. I was talking about so much on television. Some guy named Mark Burnett called me from Shark Tank and said, yo, you know about some stuff that people don't know. But it was exciting when we learned it, and that's why we're still here.
And an emerging, I'm sure you guys have probably done this, but in emerging markets as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like out of this country. I went to South Africa and their streetwear brands are out of control over there.
Great partner in South Africa right now.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's unlimited. It's just really growing at a scale that you can control and not doing too much too soon.
I met Nelson Mandela in South Africa.
Yeah.
Building the FUBU store in the mall.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's dope.
Oh, we got a story, man.
Wait, what?
That's dope, man.
We went to Africa for the
That's
store
an L part of
opening.
the story, man.
Yeah, we went to Africa.
So y'all had a FUBU store in South Africa?
Yeah.
Y'all
We had
got
several.
that?
We
I
had
asked y'all
several.
that earlier.
Google FUBU store.
Okay.
They were taking
What part
us
of South
around
Africa?
and doing the whole parties and all of that.
That's like their NY. That's like New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the licensee was like, "Oh, just got off the phone with Nelson Mandela's people. He want to meet y'all." I'm like, "Come on, bruh. Don't play with me like that." And he was like, "No, I'm serious." We went to go meet him, somehow, some way, he had to go fly out to meet a dignitary. They called us. Oh, he's not going to be able to meet you. I'm like, we was this close.
Right.
We was this close. We went the rest of the trip, did our thing. 2-3 days later, he calls us back and says he's home. He wants to come back by his crib, and we went to his crib. And
We got so much history with stuff like that.
So hold on, you can't just. I went to Nelson Mandela crib. Yeah, come on. Like, I hate how nonchalant you just said.
I'm sitting
like,
in the,
nigga, that's hard.
I'm sitting
What
in
the
living
fuck did you
room.
just say?
I'm sitting in the living room. They're like, no pictures, please. I was like, flash off. You know the camera got lost. God, karma's a mug, right? But he came down the steps. We went outside, talked to him for a while. We went outside in front of his door and we took pictures.
That's legendary.
My biggest regret in my life is I didn't take that trip. Him and Jay took that trip, but and
Wow.
you can always look at it. You can go to
That's a great fucking trip.
FUBU Instagram, see that we were the last brand to work with and license and partner with Muhammad Ali before he died.
Wow.
And the most photographed man in the world in history who was never seen in a brand at all was seen in FUBU 3 times.
You met Muhammad Ali?
That was Michael Jackson.
Michael
I'm talking
Jackson.
about.
You did a brand deal with him?
No, he wore. We were the only brand with any label on it in history that Michael Jackson ever wore. So, and we have the 3 pictures, and you would see that.
Yo, that's incredible.
So, we've had a lot of great success in our life, man. So we're blessed to be here, man.
That's amazing.
It's an honor.
Now we met some people, man.
And by the way, nobody's done the story yet. Still, nobody's done the documentary because Pookie ain't died. Now somebody got their ass whipped in the story, but he ain't died.
I think that qualifies as tragic ending.
That's exactly what did you do, but that motherfucker got in your ass.
Yeah. No, but like again, I know I somewhat asked this earlier, right? And I know you guys alluded to like you guys being friends since kids and you guys being friends since high school. But how is it to be friends for 32 years? Like again, you said it earlier. You was like, man, you won't hear none of the bullshit about us.
No, I've been
right?
friends with him for 50 years.
Yeah, it's
Him been 40
I'm like 38, 39.
Mm-hmm.
I know they like, what, 50, right? 40, 48, 50, 49, something like that.
It's like brothers, man. Like listen, we have fought.
There's
We've
people-
never. I
there's
don't think
people
we've ever
who
had
met
a
each
physical
other
fight
for
though.
1 year
We've never
and
had
not
a
friends.
physical fight.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And hold on. Let me just be clear. Let's be clear. I want to reiterate what I'm trying to say. There's friends who just met each other, and then there's friends. The minute they got money together, it deteriorated.
Right.
So I want people who is inspiring to be friends for as long as you guys been friends and as long as you guys been friends. Like I need y'all to tell me because I witnessed this. This rap game is probably one of the most disloyal. I felt more honor in drug dealing at one point.
No, we understand.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's an honor. It's like, yo, don't do that. I won't do that.
Harsher consequences.
But in hip hop, sometimes it's like, if he ain't gonna do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, I got it.
What? Why did you just do that? Like you were wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
And then you guys are this long relationship. There's so many people that's gonna watch this show and gonna say, I need to know how the fuck they kept it together. We know that y'all had bad times, but how did y'all keep it together? Through the bad times, good times, up and downs, whatever. How did y'all keep it together? Let me start. Let me start with you.
Why you won't go?
No, because you loosened up. Come on.
I always credit it to us knowing each other before the business. Like we were super cool.
That's important.
Since we was young. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We grew up together. We experienced a lot of different things together. We experienced a lot of firsts together. So even when we was doing FUBU, everybody was kind of doing their own thing.
Separate.
This dude is we doing the brand, but we got different projects we working on at the time.
Okay.
This guy recognized that Cass wasn't 100% focused, so he was like, "Yo, listen, read this book. This is how we gonna get out this hole." Yada yada. It was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, that's the best.
When I read the book, I was like, "Damn."
I'm sorry. What name of the book is?
Think and Grow Rich.
And by Napoleon Hill.
And all the volumes that he has.
All the volumes, yeah. But it is attributed, besides any religious book, to being the number one book that is attributed to.
It's an amazing. We've talked
I'm
about
gonna go
it.
back to reading.
No, it's a great book.
We read
I ain't
the
been
book,
reading
and
it for a while.
got everybody focused. So for us getting together and then going down this road and seeing this thing mature year after year after year, but we're enjoying ourselves the same way. Like, we're having fun, we're partying, we're doing things we ain't never did, we seeing money we ain't never seen, we traveling all over the world. So it just made us closer. And then by the time, you know, years later, when it wasn't doing anything, we was already like brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's gonna be hot one day, the next day it won't, and we still gonna have the love for each other that we have. You know what I'm saying? Even though one day I might want to kick his ass, or I want to kick his ass, but then the next day after that, we like, yo, what you gonna go to dinner?
It's very rarely gotten to the point where we even want to lay hands on each other. When I've gotten extremely mad at him. He's gotten extremely mad at me. I don't know if I could ever pull my. Well, first of all, I ain't no gangster. I don't try to play like that. But I don't know if I could ever strike one. Even if I know brothers, little brothers, they beat each other to death at a time and love each other. I don't know if it even gotten to that point when I say we've had problems.
Right.
You know, but
I always looked at the big picture.
But hold on, I want to keep it to the question.
Go ahead.
What made y'all keep it together? What made you on your part?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, on your part. What
My
made you
thing
keep it
was
together?
Big picture. Like, I knew that I was with a couple of cats that, first of all, I love. Like, I'll be with them for free.
Right.
Just we have that much fun together as just friends.
That's so fire.
However, I knew that I was with three of the smartest cats that I could find in my network.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? And I said, if we can, whatever it is, if we can work together, we can make it successful. Either a FUBU store, FUBU, whatever it is, we can make it successful if we work together. So my whole thing was always looking at the big picture. I knew he was the boss. He put up most of the money. He took most of the risks, so that's the boss. I knew I needed Key for certain things, needed Jay for certain things. My whole thing was to try to make sure that besides my ego and besides trying to do everything my way, to work together, because the only way we're gonna make this shit happen is we work together. And at this point, even now, as successful as Daymond is, he still asks about FUBU.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? FUBU is still a part of his story. So the more successful FUBU is, the more successful Daymond is. You know what I'm saying? So we still have that bond together to make this whole brand successful, in my opinion. And that's just my goal for the next, decade.
Yeah.
Same question.
I think that, first of all, we've had a whole lot of really hard discussions with each other when somebody's falling short and been like, yo, we can replace what you're doing. You can still get distribution, but you won't have the job. You won't have the title. We don't like what you're doing. You're going wrong, or you're not stepping up. And that's after years of faults.
No, but I meant my bad. I'm sorry. I meant the relationship with you guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the business part creates the relationship.
Okay.
Right?
My bad. Okay.
But second of all, I guess the best way to say it is it's each of our job. We've never exploited a weakness. I will never exploit his weakness and vice versa. And it's our job, I think, as brothers and partners to protect each other's faults. Because if he looks fucked up, my candle don't shine brighter if his is blown out. You know what I mean? We all look fucked up, and it's my job. Now, if he wants to listen to me or not, that's cool. But then now I got Carl as the backup, and I got Jay as the backup. And sometimes they don't want to listen. Like one of us go, well, we ain't fuck with y'all on that. Go ahead, man. But it's my job to protect him, and his job to protect me when I'm assing out, because it hurts us all. So I think that we never exploit a weakness, and we protect each other. We may not agree with you. We may not co-sign on what you're doing. We'll say, yo, man, I ain't fucking with you on that. Like, hey, you want to fight those cats and keep it real? I told you we hired these people to do so. And that dude looked really big. I told you we hired these people for that purpose. But the bottom line is, I gotta protect him. I gotta protect him. Even if he stabbed me in the back, we'll get over that. He stabbed me, or vice versa, which we don't do. I gotta protect him. That's what it has to be.
And it's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
To start a business, build it up to whatever it is, 350, 100 million, whatever it may be, with your best friends and ride that ride.
And who else?
Come on, Noy.
Who else gonna do that? Who else is gonna do that with us, right? Like, who else? Like, we've been through. You've lost a wife. We've been through divorces. We've been through new births of children, parents dying, cancer. Like, who else am I? I've been on this planet 55 years. I may last 10. I may last 15 more. I may last 20 more. But or 100 more. But who else am I going to start that relationship with besides these cats who know every single aspect of my life? You know what I'm saying?
It's the investment.
So let me ask you.
Sports champs, underdog fantasy, we back. Want to say first and foremost, of the Drink Champs Army, you guys have been hitting me up saying you're making money, you're winning money.
That's
We're
right.
proud of you.
That's what we do.
Continue to download the Underdog Fantasy app.
Download it.
Yes, sir.
Use the code.
That's right.
Drink or champs
You guys
or
are the
drink
worst.
champs.
Use the code Drink Champs. It could be Drink or Champs. Just use the code Drink Champs.
Yes. There you go.
So we're gonna get right into it. We're doing game one. We're doing 2 game 1. Let it be round 1 though.
Stay away.
Here we
Stay
go.
away.
The first game we're gonna do the number 5 seeded Orlando Magic against the number 4 Cleveland Cavs.
Okay.
Only because game 1, so that's what we're gonna go with. So they split the season 2-2, and we're gonna go like this. The points. Jared Allen averages 16.5 against the Orlando Magic, so you're gonna go higher or lower in game 1.
Lord.
Game 1, I think lower.
They are playing in Cleveland though. Just throw it out there.
But Cleveland's cold.
It is.
It's cold like a motherfucker.
Okay, Jared Allen's gonna go lower, EFN.
I say lower.
I think he's gonna go higher because he's an explosive player, but Sonny.
I think it's springtime, so the weather's warm. I
yeah,
think
that's right.
higher
You
as
going
well.
higher?
Higher as well.
That's right.
I'm gonna go lower with that one.
And
Go
Dave
lower?
Chappelle might come out
Yeah.
too.
Now, the all-star player, Donovan Mitchell, he's averaging 27.3. Will he be going higher or lower in Cleveland?
I got him higher than 27.
I got him higher too. 'Cause I just like it. I like his name.
Spider
That guy's a
Mitchell.
baller. That guy's a baller.
Sonny?
Yeah, I'm going with
Definitely
whatever
higher.
Sonny says, I'm going with it.
He's definitely higher.
It's working, so I'm not mad at that. Now, the Orlando Magic, they have a center named Moritz Wagner. He averages 14 points against the Cavs. Is he gonna go higher or lower?
I'm gonna go higher because he sounds like Wagyu beef.
Yeah. Wagyu, I ain't mad at the Wagyu beef though.
Horrible reasons to go
Wagyu, prime time.
Might be a good reason.
Now, going back to the rebounds, Jared Allen averages 10.5. Would that be higher or lower in the first quarter? Will he get more than 5 rebounds in the first quarter?
Nah, he lower.
This is real.
What was his
Drink
average?
Champs Army. He averages 10 rebounds. Will he get 5 in the first quarter? Correct.
So that's 2 1/4 for the first quarter.
Roughly.
And you got him at 5?
Not me. Untold.
I got him lower.
Yeah, I say lower
I got
as
him
well.
lower.
I got him higher because in
What?
the first quarter, this guy gets like 10 rebounds, and towards the end of the game, he fades away.
He
I
fouls
got him
out?
at higher.
But you don't see the average?
10.
That's what he
10,
averages
but
against the
he
opponent.
has some big time first quarters.
Okay.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Now, Moritz.
Pull out the brush every 5 minutes.
Now, for assists, Donovan Mitchell averages 7.3 assists. Will that be higher or lower? What's your pick, EFN?
Higher.
Higher assists? I want to say lower. I think he's
Whoa.
going to go on a scoring binge.
Playoffs are a different beast.
That's
and so
right.
you count on other guys to score.
That's right.
It's lower scoring, lower than 7.5 assists.
Oh, no, I'm disagreeing with you. I
And
think he's-
RE.
I'm going lower.
Lower than 7.3. Now we got the visiting number 6 seed Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant.
KD.
He averages 27.3 points.
Easy money sniper.
Yes, I'm going to Kevin Durant. I'm gonna say he's gonna go higher because of the spirit of DMX is in Phoenix.
Yeesh.
A lot of people don't know that. DMX spent a lot of time in Phoenix, Arizona. So the spirit of DMX will help out Kevin Durant. So he's gonna go higher.
not mad at that.
Yes, yes.
Higher. Higher? 'Cause DMX?
No. It was,
Okay, we're there. Okay, Devin Booker. 27.4 points. We go higher or lower, Sonny?
Higher. Devin is probably going to average 40 for the series.
Yeah, I'm going higher just on the strength that he sounds like Bookman from Good Times.
Facts. Facts. Diego, this question is for you.
I'm listening.
Grayson Allen,
Grayson Allen.
13.4 points, higher or lower?
He's a 3-point shooter from Duke. He's going higher. This is a big game for
I'm
him.
not mad at that.
what'd you say? Higher?
Higher.
He looks like he knows what he's talking about. I'm in.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I'm
Not a
going.
dirty player, but he was good.
He's got playoff experience too.
He
with
do.
Milwaukee, so.
Now we're gonna go to the Suns. Kevin Durant averages 5 assists a game. Higher or lower?
He's lower because he's going to go nut this time.
Facts.
He ain't
I'm
passing
going
the ball.
lower on this
I
one
agree.
too.
Yeah, he's lower. He's shooting that
I
ball.
think KD's got a triple-double brewing.
Right.
So if KD got a triple-double, that leads me to the next one. Back to Devin Booker. He averages 7 assists. Will that be higher or lower?
He going to go lower.
He's got Kevin Durant to dish it to.
Yeah.
That's higher.
Yeah, that's right. I'm changing it. I'm changing it back. He's going to go higher.
Sniper wide open
Right.
for three.
It looks like the ball circulates. The ball circulates
They
a lot.
move the ball.
Because Bradley Beal is averaging 5 assists, so it's not
Passes.
higher or lower.
With Booker, with Kevin Durant, those guys is good money with the shooting the ball. I like higher for him.
Okay. Underdog Fantasy, Drink Champs Army, don't forget. Download the app. Use the code DRINKCHAMPS, drink or champs.
Let's go.
Did Shark Tank help the FUBU brand?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
You know, it's another funny story.
Yeah.
We were gonna be the first reality show on BET. This guy didn't want to do it. We didn't know why he didn't want to do it.
I'm ready.
We didn't know why. He was contemplating on his next move.
Mm-hmm.
But his next move was Shark Tank. So I understood why he didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But by him doing that,
But what was the reality show? It was,
what? Is it?
I remember that one. What's going on?
It's revelations right now.
Yeah, listen.
We shot that
Let
show.
me tell you.
I'm listening.
These niggas told you they was fried, right? That I had the best memory, right? I'm telling you.
Right.
We shot that show at Lionsgate. Nobody picked it up.
No, I'm talking about the BET joint.
Was that there?
Huh?
What are you talking about, man?
The BET,
Yeah, man, go ahead.
See, listen.
Yo,
Nori, let me get back to you.
I'm listening.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
if we shot it or not, I didn't know all that shit happened, but I know that shit ain't go through. He went to Shark Tank. He did his thing on Shark Tank, and that just opened the doors for everybody looking at FUBU again. You know what I'm saying? Because now, once again, we on a national platform with the CEO of FUBU, which he's always going to be remembered
mentioning
first.
FUBU.
You know what I'm saying? And then I think they talked about it in the opening.
Wait, now,
the
you know
opening-
what happened for FUBU and Shark Tank? America started to say it's not just for a segment. It's not of ignorance. This guy who's on here, who they all must be the same, you know, he's not a dumb guy. They're not coming in the room. They all want to hold, every one of us are held in a box. And they used to think when we came in the room, we were going to have gold teeth, break dancing, baggy jeans, no, this is business, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, and
We didn't do Oprah because she wanted us to stand on a car and do all kind of crazy
Yeah,
shit.
we turned
didn't
down
do
Oprah.
Yeah.
We turned down,
Wait, what?
that was the biggest. So what happened with
That's
Oprah?
wild, what
So
you
here's
just said.
what happened with Oprah. She wanted to come into our houses, and at that time we didn't want to show our family. She wanted us on cars and doing all that other shit. And then
When you say
On
on cars, yeah, I don't
stand, you know, like all that. The
stand-
producer. I'm not saying Oprah herself.
Oh, okay,
Right,
okay.
And I remember there was a girl who was working at our company, and she was either an intern or she was working there. And they said, by the way, that's Oprah's niece working in your company. And I was like, I don't
Working
think-
at FUBU?
Working at FUBU. And this is when we had about 300 employees. We would show up to red carpets, and we'd go into a movie theater at an event. She's sitting in the front row. We sitting in the ninth row. We started going, okay, I think maybe this girl worked for, Oprah's
You
niece.
do work for Oprah, yeah.
Yeah. She ended up coming in later, acting fly, and I think one of us, I'm not sure who it was, fired her. We told the girl working for us who's going to fire her. We said it's okay to fire her. And I remember this big time publicist called us. You are going to fire Oprah's niece? Are you crazy? This is the most powerful woman in the world. And I remember one of us, or the woman Leslie worked for us, said, Oprah would want us to fire her ass. And then all of a sudden, we didn't get on Oprah no more. I don't know what happened to that.
Oprah didn't want you to fire
There was
her.
one of you producers around here behind the scenes who didn't let Oprah know, whatever the case is. But how do we get to Oprah?
That was your doing.
How none of y'all smoked or drink and y'all lit? Like, this
take
shit
another
is- yo,
piece.
No, listen, man. I'll be honest. That FUBU story is so. and here's what's crazy. I think it's a. I thought it was a documentary. Then I thought it was a movie. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost a Wire meets Power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely one of those.
Entourage, somewhere in that too. There.
This is
It's Soprano.
You know about Entourage. I want to know if you knew about Entourage. You know what I mean?
It's Soprano.
What?
Yeah, I think it's Sopranos meets Sex in the City meets Wire.
No, it's the Wire. Come on, let me
So
get
you have
this.
the
Let me get
fashion
this.
shit in there.
Come on, let me take. Let me take.
Okay, go get at that. Get at that, baby. Get at that.
Let me take this.
Get
one.
at that, baby boy.
It's the Wire. Mid-America, maybe a little bit. It's the Wire Entourage.
That's what I see.
It's the Wire meets Entourage. Ooh, this is a great fucking
But you
story.
realize when me and Daymond started the idea of FUBU, I had just came home from Rikers.
You was in jail too.
Make some noise for Rikers
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Real talk. This is not even celebrating that shit.
Hell no.
Not long. I did less than 6 months.
Right.
No, say C74. No,
Yeah, but that's that C74 era. That's the toughest shit ever.
But the bottom line was, I didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
6 months is 6 years in today's time.
I never want to go back. That's the bottom line.
Now let's make some noise for that.
In meeting,
Never want to go back. Here you go.
and
My
meeting
bad.
Daymond, I had my first child at the time, and meeting him at that moment, you know what I'm saying, was me either trying to figure out how to be a better criminal or use this.
Because we
use
kind of
this
stopped
energy.
hanging just because, you know, he was moving
You're
to that
doing-
side of the
you're doing-
world. And so when you came home or whatever, I even really forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a lot. It's a lot that like I said, it's 4 different stories in
Right.
one story. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the reason why.
Keith got an amazing story
That
on
shit
his
is
own.
dope.
You know, I think what you said at another time we were talking, you said when you didn't realize how your impact was and you never went outside your world.
Yeah.
And when I was going on the tours as a roadie on the tour, I think Keith was also a street dude. I don't know if he was doing, I don't remember if he was doing any of that stuff, but I remember Keith saying to me, he was on the road to nowhere. And when he went on that road with me, and he saw that there was a bigger world where LL was doing what he loved and people were screaming and shouting and he didn't have to look over his back. He said, I remember you said something like, yo, that's when I said, yo, I'm gonna leave that behind. I'm gonna leave anything behind and roll with you because you can live. You can come out of the hood and do what you love and live and make money.
I had the wrong friends. I had everybody that was selling crack, getting them football numbers, going to jail, dying. And then I had these dudes where I was going on tour and doing different shit, going out of town at 15. I was like, Mom, can I go out of town? She was like, I ain't got no money. I said, I just need $50. Let me get $50. We gonna share a room, 4-2 room, $50. I'm good. But it was like doing things like that opened my
Getting
mind up
outside
to
of
like,
your-
wow, there are other things than what's going on in my hood. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
want
worked out.
people to listen to us, whatever we're talking about. Whoever listens to us now, man, get with that little crew that they're on to talking about money and see. I don't care how corny it sounds. If you love what they're doing, man, don't go to those streets, man.
Right.
Don't go to those streets, man. There's so much, man. We're a great product of our environment of people who got out.
Right.
Because we just wanted to make shirts and make people happy. You wanted to make people happy. You wanted to make people happy, man. So
Man, yeah, I can't wait to hear this story. Man, I'm gonna be honest because, and I'm from Queens, so the reason why, like, we didn't know about nothing wrong or nothing, crazy with FUBU. FUBU came out, we were proud of it. We proud of it to this day.
Yeah.
So for y'all to have, like, I love that 4 different stories thing because, shit, I'm tuned in.
Let's go.
So what is next for FUBU?
Expansion.
No, we know the real estate part.
Yeah,
of it.
so it's just brand expansion. Just identifying new partners as far as licensing agreements, growing our business here. We just started manufacturing our own goods here in the States again. And that brand
thank you very much, guys.
We got FUBU Radio.
Yes.
We got Forest Vibes Network.
Yeah.
And we got FUBU Village coming. So it's just really a brand expansion and, you know, trying to make this a situation where it's here long after we're gone.
Did you say FUBU Village?
FUBU Village, like I told you.
That's the real estate stuff they were talking about.
Yeah, but it is
Housing, manufacturing, sports, entertainment, and retail. And we looking at 200 acres. I can't say where, but right outside of Atlanta at this point.
Yeah.
That's the right place.
And with me, with FUBU Radio, I'm building, like I said earlier, with my partners down in actually Roswell, Georgia, 18-stage creative space studio with 500 car parking lot, 300 seat theater, restaurants, and you know it's going to be a creative spot down there. So I'll be doing a lot of things down there. Got an office in station in North Carolina, Atlanta, and New York now, Times Square. So we just trying to do it. And I'm also working on, you probably gonna love this, the Tommy Mickens story. Trying to work, develop, and getting that done. So me and my man Tommy been talking about that. So that's gonna be crazy.
Let's make some noise for that. Yeah.
Is everything connected though? Everything FUBU
Yeah,
related?
everything's
Like you guys are
connected.
all
Brand.
partners in each other's ventures, right?
So
Go ahead.
go ahead, say it. Exactly what we've been talking about.
Licensing. Like let's say at FUBU Village, it's my project, but I get permission, a licensing deal from my partners.
Yeah.
So I pay them a royalty.
So you're licensing from your own entity.
It's just because he's a partner, he would get a license at half
At a
or
discounted
75% off
Yeah.
what anybody else is, because you want
That's
your partner
interesting.
to be able
Yeah,
to
this
grow
is
the
dope.
business. And FUBU was always 4 of us, so we could be at 4 different places, 4 different times, 4 different businesses, and 4 different minds, right?
Like EFN could open up Drink Champs Bowling, and I ain't got to necessarily
And
agree with
I
that.
could license it at a discount from my own.
Yeah, and you can say,
from
listen,
my own IP,
and you can say, here's our rules, man. Just don't do this, and and because you're a partner, you be like, absolutely, I got you. But then
Right.
go run it, and then you don't bother me.
Right.
Now, question.
That's hard.
From what you're licensing,
That's hard.
That excludes them as specific partners only from the license part of it.
Well, it depends. If we decide to come in as a let's say a monetary investment, then that puts you in a different position. But if they just a licensing partner, my partner's license it to me, they get a royalty off of the overall sales revenue that's generated from this particular property.
So I don't want to make things too complicated. What the basic form of a license, when you think about it, is if you sold $100, $1 million worth of goods, $1 million worth of anything.
Right.
If you had a 20% net, that means that you pay everything. You pay for everything, the 20% profit.
Profit.
Right? But if a license is 10% that you give to somebody, you do all the work, finance everything, advertise, market, and I don't do anything. You take 10%, I take 10%. We're splitting it.
Of
And
the profit or
of the profit.
Of the profit.
And I didn't have to do anything. So that's why licensing is so powerful. Right?
And it has us, and we usually put in a place where there's a minimum, like
a minimum guarantee.
minimum guarantee.
You're supposed to do X amount of business over the
Right.
years. And that can get complicated. But in
and
my
that scales up as
That's what I usually see a license as a minimum
There's a
guarantee.
minimum
But that's
guarantee.
what we do normally in
because you
our
want
world.
people to have some skin in the game to get your name in the first place.
Yeah, and we don't want to go into too much detail to get people confused, because licensing can be,
Right.
but
Right.
it's really, really simple.
Right.
It's like renting or leasing your home to somebody. That's the same thing, right? So in my regards, so what I would, my job is I will be, we will be FUBU forever. We've been fortunate enough to create something that was globally recognized that came out of our basement. Thank you. Thank you. I think that I will start sooner or later a fund, a FUBU fund, where it will be, deploying money to businesses and or whatever with our history.
That's
But my job still is to grow the brand and support my partners. Because my job as a partner here is my public access. is to keep being hopefully the dignitary of our brand and to bring attention to our brand globally. Definitely one day we'll do whether it is the doc or the series or whatever the case is.
Or both.
Yeah, and I think that the job of us is that people have always shown the scissor reel, and I think if you hear us jumping, whether Keith's talking about the fight, whether I'm talking about being an asshole to customers, or whether Carl's talking about counterfeit, we never want to sit back and say, look how fly this shit is. We want people to say, this shit is hard. And when you're doing this, I've never met an entrepreneur in my life who did something purely because they wanted to make money.
Right.
I've only met entrepreneurs who want to solve a problem or bring somebody joy, and then the money came. The people who did it only because the money ended up in the wrong place, so they blew the money once they got it. And I think our job and our obligation as the people who created this brand, who never sold it for the right reasons, is that to extend this brand for people of coming from all colors or whatever, coming from nowhere, to say, man, them dumb cats did it. Like, only thing I did notable in school is I liked the seventh grade so much I took it twice. That's it. And I'm dyslexic. Carl went to jail. I'm just remembering it.
I'm dyslexic.
You're dyslexic. So bottom line, my job is to be the statesman of FUBU, keep pushing it out there, keep building great brands and bringing great partners in. Maybe we do the movie or whatever the case is and stuff, and just keep going with the brand. It's my life. You know what I mean?
It's not just a movie. It's a series. It's a acted out series.
It's a documentary with the acted out.
It's a whole series. It's acted out. It's like, and you got to take your time. You seen the Wu-Tang Clan shit on Hulu?
Yeah.
That's where that is. I killed that.
Yeah. And my newest agenda has been really, honestly, of all that is supporting emerging artists. Especially as we're shooting in an area with ours, because what I found, unlike we came up, we had each other, we had clothing, sports, athletes, all that. I found that artists who create, as we all know, a lot of creative people, there's a lot of addiction in this community, and that their joy and their pain, they don't ever know if they're going to get into the NFL or create a FUBU, but their joy and pain, we benefit from it. And there's a massive amount of addiction. So I'm starting to bring attention to fine artists and hopefully give them FUBU licenses for free and various other things like that. Because I think there's a lot of addiction of these people who have beautiful things that they have to share with us, and we don't realize that community has no support. So there you have it.
Let me ask you, would you do FUBU cannabis?
Yeah. I just don't smoke on TV.
I respect that. I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that. But
I've been smoking since been smoking.
Carl
told me one day, he said, yo, you was on to something back in the days. You know, and you was smoking weed when you was teenagers, bro. Like, but, you know, I keep it respectful. You know?
You still smoke?
So I don't drink.
You slow it down a lot.
Yeah. I slowed a lot down. You know, when you start, when I turn a senior citizen,
how many blunts
you know what I'm saying? He don't count.
No one knows.
He don't. But it's like I said, I don't. I slowed down a lot of things that I did. Like back in the days, I used to fall asleep in the club with these dudes. They used to take my chain off, wake up, I'm wilding out. They're like, yo, chill, here go your chain. Like you falling asleep, like doing stupid shit like that.
Teach you a lesson.
Doing stupid shit like that.
He was an angry weed addict.
You know,
No, I've never heard an angry.
Me neither.
Because it was mixed with a Hennessy. That's why.
Oh no,
it was mixed with Hennessy back then.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Henny.
I don't even want to say that time in the club. That time in the club. Remember that time in your life? Remember that time when you
Tell
was
us about the time in the club.
You tell him, Keith. I ain't trying to tell you business. You want to tell him?
What,
Yo,
pissed in the club?
He started peeing on people in the club.
Wait a minute.
That's a different kind of time.
Dog. He said I could say it.
Saw me and told. That's all.
Dog. I'm talking about there were some women sitting at the bar. He was at the bar and he peed on. He just straight peed on their leg. When he mixed his weed with Hennessy.
I remember that one.
before they closed the Palladium in New York City.
Palladium, that's my
the
shit.
week before that, you remember when
That's
he
when
peed
Pocket
on?
Big
You
performed
remember when
that.
he was
I
like, yo,
peed
get
at
your
the
man.
bar and hit the floor, and then they sprinkle on their toes and they shoes.
Listen, man.
They told somebody.
He said you
yo,
need
where was the bathroom in the Palladium?
What?
Way in the basement.
Okay.
So I wasn't gonna make it. I wasn't gonna make it. So I be damned if I piss on myself.
And now,
You got to go.
and now,
You
and
got to
now,
go.
and
You got to go,
now,
man.
and now before that big dude loosened up his bladder on 28th Street.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for nothing.
Hey, man.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes
we need
you
to
gotta
cut this
pee-pee.
interview, man, because we can go here for years. Yo, man.
Yeah, we said it for
we got
hours.
35 years.
I'm not.
He
man.
let me say that one. I told you. See, he gave me permission.
That's a crazy
I knew
story,
he was
bro.
gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say the piss one. I know
The
that.
peepees in the club kind of guy.
So, you know, as boys, listen.
Yeah, I need to hear it.
No, as boys, listen. These are the hard conversation we had. I said, listen, Keith, man, I got your back. I'll die for you. Straight up. Like, if we're out of the club and something's gonna happen, and I know that, you know, like you're, you know, whatever I gotta do, man, you're my brother. I will die for you. But once he started, all joking aside, he went through this phase of doing that, and we realized later you were mixing tequila. It was something was happening with
Wait, he
you.
went through the phase
I
of
was
pissing
going-
in the club?
What happened was
All joking
I was
aside, he
going
did
through
this-
my
I mean,
early
I'm saying that was a
stages
phase?
of my beaties.
Wow, this is
You
more
know what I'm
peeing
saying?
than other places?
I was had that, you know, my sugar running in my family.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
that.
that.
So that
you know
was
what I'm
a
saying?
diabetic,
Yeah, so
like, reaction?
you know when you're a diabetic and you drink liquor, it just come out. Like when it come out, it's coming out. It's not
Like,
like
you can't hold it.
Nah,
didn't know that.
you can't hold
I didn't know
it.
what. So I don't even remember that.
I didn't even know it. I just thought I was, you know, too drunk to get to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So,
And we were running around, right? So if you're my man and I love you like a brother, I'm willing to die for you. And I'm not a gangster at all, right? But if I know that I got to jump in front, move this cat, whatever the case. But at a point where after a while it was happening too much, I can't justify you. I was like, yo, Keith, here's two things we're gonna do. I'm not gonna go out with you, man. I can't go out with you no more. Or if you keep doing that, I ain't got your back. I'm walking on you. We had to have that's a hard conversation to
You
have.
could have
with-
created the FUBU depends that he could have
should've.
worn.
I only
For
peed
people who
one
got a
time,
piss-
man.
No, you
All I remember is
didn't.
one
You
time.
peed about 6, 7 times, man.
Yo, it's
So you can tell one story. He put 6 stories.
I can tell several stories, man.
Nah, he get the good memory now.
Oh, he's literally clicking like a motherfucker right now.
I remember because he peed on somebody and their man was about to whip our ass. And I was like, this dude's right. You peed on a man girl. I don't care if she had Payless shoes on. You still peed on
He
her.
was discriminately peeing on everybody, bro.
Yo. So
What's
was
some wild nights, man? We had some wild nights.
It happens, bro. It happens.
No,
No, it don't.
happens.
No, it don't. No, it don't. You ever peed on somebody in the streets?
No, but it happens.
no comment.
But then son's
I
stepson's
haven't, but I have peed.
You never said, yo, turn that shit up.
Nah, but shit happens in life.
No, he ain't shit on them yet. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for. What? Man, for real, calling you. They literally throwing chairs, and one of the FUBU dudes is peeing on somebody. That joint's off the hook.
Luckily, we ain't had
That's great
social
for the
media.
documentary.
If they had social media, we'd have been canceled a long time
Yo,
ago, boy.
make sure to depict that in the film.
If they,
Oh, we got.
You got to have a long stream on that motherfucker.
if they had social media, we'd be here right now. Yo, what you want? You want me to go get that? You want that out of the stock room right now? Because we wouldn't be here no more.
So this is something that I kept hearing repeated through this conversation. You said at one point you was doing 350 million. Did I hear that correct?
Worth?
No, like doing 350 million.
Annually,
I
yeah.
can't lie.
Oh, no.
Hold on, let me do this because how was y'all acting then? Like, I know. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck if they say drink that's worth 350 million. I only got 50 million.
Hey, hold on. Before you answer that, add inflation. What is that today?
that's the question.
Add inflation.
So in the
No, but let's
Bye,
talk
bye.
about how you was
Minimum
acting.
700 million.
What is it? 750 million?
acting.
Like, as FUBU.
In clothing, technically, it's a great number, but Nike does 30 billion a year and a lot. So, but
coming from where y'all came from,
where we
going
came
against
from,
Nike. That's you.
Yeah.
You
So
comparing.
we were
Fuck,
crazy.
hold on, right? Don't want. Let me stop saying fuck Nike. What the fuck?
No.
All right, cool. But
we was
forget that.
almost homeless, so we all moved into my house and slept. Like we worked during the day. I worked at Red Lobster, and then we were sewing clothes and having people sewing clothes. And we
Queens
almost,
Boulevard, Red Lobster.
I worked in Baldwin, and I worked at Sunrise.
Okay, but
And he worked uptown in Manhattan as a building manager, and you worked in a factory, right?
Odd jobs, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Why you laughing at your odd job, bro?
it was an odd job.
You laughing like you was a sex worker or something. He said odd jobs.
You had a family support. You were working a clean, good job, man. As far as I remember.
I said odd job.
Okay,
man.
right.
I had nothing. It wasn't nothing steady.
Get behind that story.
It wasn't nothing steady. It just,
So all of a sudden, we almost homeless. We get our deal. We supposed to, the manufacturing deal we're supposed to do $5 million worth of sales in 3 years to keep our manufacturing deal.
Right.
We do $30 million worth of sales in like 3 months.
Wow.
FUBU takes off. Immediately we start moving and doing stuff. So I think at 29 I was almost homeless. That means you would have been almost homeless, but you were renting the basement from me, right? And then paying whatever he could, and he had a job, and then we all quit. It just takes off. I remember I came out here to Miami the first time. I remember standing at Jack the Rapper, and I remember looking at some pink tall building, what is now the Portofino. I was like, man, one day.
Was it? How Can I Be Down? Not Jack the Rapper.
How could I be down? Something like that. I was on the beach going, man, look at that pink building. It was like 97, 98, and that pink building just got built. I said, man, one day I'm going to get $30,000 and afford an apartment. I remember the next year, I bought the second building in there for second apartment in there for $3 million, but I found out I didn't know any better. I didn't know about what they call marinas. I had a jet ski, so I wanted to buy a jet ski. I want to put a jet ski someplace, so I go down to Venetian Causeway and I buy another house for $5 million there just to put a jet ski
You
there.
wildin', man.
I remember we bought each other. We bought each other cars. You bought me a boat. You bought me a boat.
Y'all bought each other houses in the
We
marina.
bought each other cars, all kind of. I mean, we
Yo,
were
it was
just spending
tripping.
money like. But we
Got me my first Benz. You had the Corvette. You had the boat. We bought you the boat. We bought Jay the Bentley.
And these are for Christmas gifts and birthdays. So, well, yeah, it was pretty good, you know.
Damn, my friends ain't shit.
But how young were they when you guys? How old were you guys at that point?
29, 30.
That's the thing. When we have a lot of these conversations, especially at Drink Champs, where we're talking about things that happened in the past, we're all older now.
right.
These are young people that we're talking about, young mentalities, young men,
right.
young women that were doing things, and we got to put that in that perspective.
We were told that we're not supposed to live past 21.
Right.
Woo. That's what everybody told us. Even the people that we paid to protect us told us that we were going to be dead or in jail by 21.
My mom used to tell me that shit every day. She used to tell me that shit all the time until I almost died. 17.
What did she say?
She used to be like, "You're gonna be dead. You're gonna be dead or in jail by the time you're 21." And I'd be like, "Yo, you my mom. Like, how you saying that to me?" Because she's like,
because you was acting out.
she's
though.
like, the way you
Based on
moving,
the
what
day.
you doing, people you hanging
She was
around.
probably trying to scare
and-
you straight, is what she was doing.
Scared
Nah,
me.
she's a straight shooter. So
her mom's 100. I mean, all of our mothers are actually, to tell you the truth.
Wow. Yo, y'all fucked me up.
But one of the best days though, like when we made it, I think one of the best days for us was seeing our product in Macy's windows. Like we literally went to
Wait, tell me,
that
you
has to
said
be
Macy's
amazing, bro.
windows?
Macy's windows. Like
Y'all
we
kn-
literally got 40 ounces and went and stood in front of Macy's. And
No, no,
Talking about that, that's too much. That's
Celebrate.
You too gangster. Hold on. Wait up. All right, hold on. Because I know. Is it Macy's on 34th?
on 34th Street.
Okay, hold on. Let me take it there because I'm there. I'm there, even though I wasn't there.
right.
I'm there. Y'all knew it was gonna be on 34th Street.
Yeah, because remember,
Okay.
as I said, we had to pay after a while, you know what I mean, for all that stuff. But what really happened is we grew up in Hollis, Queens. Mm-hmm. Hollis, Queens is right next to JFK. Mm-hmm. Our parents used to tell us, they used to say, well, there was a plane that shook the whole community went a land called the Concord, in the land of the certain time.
Of course.
And our parents used to say either you need to be, because when you heard the rumbling of the of the Concord landing, the whole neighborhood shook. I remember my mother used to say, or during the summer, the lights on the Empire State Building. My mother used to say, you better be either faster than the Concord or quicker than the lights on the Empire State Building, because that means it got dark. Concord ended at a certain time, and whatever the Empire. So that's what happened. We finally made it. We had our first office, the 48th floor of the Empire State Building. This is a building that was 30 miles away that took us 30 years to get to. And now we have the 40. We would end up owning the 65th, 60th. We own 3 floors of the Empire State Building. But the first time, and I remember at that time, the Empire State Building windows can open as high as from here to there. I remember the first time we made it,
To the outside?
the outside, actually,
That's
and
wild.
that's why people used to jump out of some of the windows.
That's wild.
By the way, we got our 40 doors. I remember sitting outside, sitting there at the 48th floor, and me and Carl and Keelan, we were looking outside of there at the entire city. We had finally made it. The next day, I just got a brand new Lexus, and I had the 1,000 CD player in the back. The 1,000 of them. It took me a week to open all those goddamn CDs to put them in there. And we sat outside of Macy's with the coldest 40s from Papa Kim's. And we opened up that trunk, and I made sure every girl seen that I had every CD in the world in there playing. And we rolled down the window and blasted that music as much as we could right in front of those Macy's windows. We would later on be the first people to ever physically sit in the windows of Macy's for 8 hours while
During the promotion.
during a promotion.
You guys physically
sat there. And then next week, I remember driving that car home, and somebody carjacked me.
Sounds about right.
The dudes who our friends who used to rob people caught me on Long Island, and they dragged me.
They got you.
They caught
in
me.
your
They
car?
saw me. They saw me driving that Lexus. They dragged me to the back. I had tried to move as fast as I could out of the neighborhood. They dragged me to the back, and they put the gun to my head, and I thought I was gonna die. And they took that trigger, and they was about to pull it. And they just took the car and ran away. But what they found out is that we had made it, and they said, Daymond can get another car. Don't worry about it. And so they followed me, and that's that story. So we had a lot of things happen going on.
So those guys believed in you. They knew that you could get another car.
They believed in me. I think that's the
a
moral
positive side.
I don't want anybody else to believe in me again.
But let me ask you, how did that feel being a kid from Queens, having, cause that Macy's on 34th Street, that's Home Alone, you know.
It's the Mecca.
That's everything to us.
It is.
A kid from New York City, because I know a lot of people are gonna watch this,
world, man.
and they're not gonna understand that. But I understand that, so I'm gonna be regional right now, and I'm saying, how did that moment feel for you?
Honestly, man, that was a big day for us, but that wasn't my big day. Because I remember when we started the company, I had a child. I was married and had a child at a young age. Mm-hmm. So my whole goal was to buy a home for my kids, my wife. And what happened around that same time, Macy's, all that stuff, Daymond's like, okay, let's go find a house. So we went to a house that's on auction out there in Brookville, Long Island. And he was like, yo, we ain't gonna spend no more than $700,000. That's the highest we gonna bid on it. So we went out there to his house in Brookville, got to 700, and his ego kicked in. 750, 800, 850, 900. We went all the way up to, I think, $1.2 million. Didn't get the house, but we ended up getting another house. But what that told me was, you know what I'm saying, we in a different game right now, and he got my back. You know what I'm saying? So it's times like that I remember more than, I guess, the Macy's thing, because those are goals I was trying to set, the home buying, taking care of my family, just getting a daily paycheck, a weekly paycheck from some shit you built out of nothing. To me, that shit was monumental to me. So that's what the things I remember the most, just really creating something from nothing and be able to pay my bills with that shit.
I ain't gonna lie, I gotta make some noise for that. That was awesome. But what was in that moment, man? Because for me, being from New York City, on the 34th Street, it was 34th Street and 42nd Street. Once you conquered the Coliseum, That was the
right.
next move.
Yeah, 40 Deuce is the next one.
That was the next move. You got to conquer the Coliseum. You got to conquer Gertz. But then 34th Street is bigger though.
Yeah, that's it.
Because there's a lot of more other people. This is kind of
International.
This is going international. We're going up the block.
Yeah.
How did you feel with having your motherfucking clothes in 34th Street at Macy's?
No, I mean, it felt good. At that time, we were still young, too, so the brand was still coming up, you know. We used to do this thing where we say one time, where we would walk down a block and still see people in our clothes and be like, one time, everybody be like, where, you know. So it was still new for us, but having it in Macy's window, especially like even my boy Jay, he had got fired from Macy's, so he always had this personal thing.
He worked for Macy's?
He worked for Macy's, so he had got fired for, you know, supposedly stealing like a $3 tie. And he never forgave him for that. But you know what I'm saying?
And Jay ain't no thief.
But to see us come back and to see his face that night and to see all of us
I remember
there.
he said to the guy, next time you see me, I'll be selling to you.
Yep. So it was big. And then, you know, Macy's Windows is historic, bro. Like, for us, it was the first time, I think, Urban Fashion Company graced the windows of Macy's.
Carl Kanai, I think, had done it. Yeah, I think he did it initially.
But we was in the windows, though.
That's right.
That's big, man.
So this is pretty much my last question. There's so many other people that's from Queens or from Black, 4 people that's together.
Mm-hmm.
What was the moment where y'all actually sat down and said, this is what we're going to focus on? Me and EFN been friends forever, right? I recorded his studio. He's been in my studio in New York. But we had invested in Drink Champs 9 months and kind of didn't make anything back.
No, we didn't make anything back.
Anything back. But it's so impactful.
That's the only thing we got back was the impact.
Just the impact.
Right.
But no one knows that. So we just kept going. But there was times we were like, hey man, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, really,
Like me. This is not lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any time doing FUBU where y'all was like, damn, bro, are we sure? Were we doing this the right thing?
I don't think anybody's ever asked us that. So when Carl and I started in '89, we started it. We were doing this thing. Carl, like you said, he had a family. He had a child. And he had a wife. She said, "Yo, what are you doing? You got to take care of us." And I think that we closed it down because we ran out of money.
Wow. When y'all first started?
You closed down the brand?
We stopped.
3 times.
Damn.
And then
Wait, so I'm sorry, but is this before or after the Super Soakers?
After when we started putting the actual physical name FUBU on product.
Okay.
Close it down.
Okay.
We closed 3 times from 89 to 92.
People need to hear this.
Carl says, I got to take care of my family, can't do it. I'm like, whatever, cool. I ran out of money, $1,000, $2,000.
You're the financier.
I'm the financier, whatever. This is no big money. People start seeing us, yo, man, I saw you at the flea market, whatever. I need you. My boy Jay comes back. He's fighting Desert Storm. He's like...
He's in Iraq?
He's all right. He comes back. He says, yo, man, what are you doing? I want to go to Fashion Institute. By the way, I got a little bit of money. He gives me $5,000. We started again. Carl no longer the picture, not necessarily. Cool. It starts to get momentum. We run out of money, close it again. People say, yo, I saw this stuff. I like this stuff. Carl comes back. Jay says, yo, let's rock. I'll move in your house with you. I'll work during the day. I'll put some rent. Keith says, I'll move in your house. I'll live in the basement. I'll put some rent.
This is wild.
Carl says, I'll come back. I then go and we mortgage the house. I work at Red Lobster. We all are working off and on shifts. The FUBU brand then comes back again. It's not big. We get that call. We for 3 years though, up until like 95, 92 to 95.
So hold up. This is a 3-year span that this is happening.
This is a 7-year. This started in 89. This is a 6-year span. So right around 90.
89, you said?
89, we failed the first time. Started again in 90, failed again. Started again in 91, failed again. In 92, then we all just come together. We live off of shit beans and whatever the case is. Mortgage, rent the house.
40 ounces of
40 ounces.
And people probably saying to you, you're failing again.
Oh, every
Get
time.
away from each other.
I got a wife. So that's what I heard.
They're all laughing at us, not talking to us. 95, we start to get some form of traction. 96, we start to get a deal.
Wow.
Millions of dollars in the bank by 98, 97, 98, and we're globally recognized at that time. But that's how the story
Phenomenal.
goes. Yeah. I don't think I ever recapped it in that way. And it was about partners coming in and out, and we all saying, "Yo, we got something bigger than this, man. Work your day job. Don't save money. Put it into this shit. Move into my house. Sleep on the floor. Sleep on the ground. Get your wife. Your wife's mad at you. I don't care. Go ahead. Let's rock."
Sounds about right.
They killed it.
So then you wonder why we still brothers. So I mean, what we gonna do after that,
Y'all
man?
been through everything. Through everything.
That was hard.
Take a picture.
Thank you. Yeah, ended it great as well.
Take the picture.